Hello, humans. How is it? How is it going?
What's a human?
Oh, I don't know.
What's a robot?
A little
Are
bit of
we
this, a
real?
little bit of that.
A little bit of Monica in your
Oh
life?
no!
Oh, damn
Oh
it, you beat
no!
me to it.
Oh
Oh,
no!
What happened?
no. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, gross.
that made me feel weird.
Okay. So, everyone, this week we're going to be going over spoilers for basically commander cards. So we're going to be trying to just show them off a little bit. So yeah, just hanging out, just doing some things. Yeah. Um,
Hey, what's going on with the Dice Masters tournament?
that's Joe. Can you go over the Dice Masters tournament? Do you have that up? Can you pull that up? Because I'm trying to organize the cards still.
Deaf
Yep.
babies,
I
hello.
sure can.
Hello,
Alright, thank you.
deaf
So
babies.
where we're at
hello.
is... Alright, so the finals is down to CCM Quad 7 and Ronathan PXPX, otherwise known as Laurier and our boy Ronathan. Ronathan plays.
It's your boy.
So, they still haven't played it yet. They're supposed to schedule it relatively soon. We don't know when that's going to be, but I know that they will likely both have them streamed. Have both of those games streamed from each perspective. So that's our two finalists are Ronathan and Laurier, and I believe Ronathan had already secured his spot in the Invitational, and Laurier was sort of a wild card. He was my invitation. So
Okay.
yeah.
And yeah, Laurier says for anyone wondering, Ron and him weren't 100% in the last little while, scheduling over a match tomorrow. So that's cool. It's cool.
Nice.
Thanks for the heads up there, Laurier.
Thank you, Laurier.
Thank you, Laurier.
Oh, I gotta turn on my
So
camera.
yeah, where we're at right now is oh god, what happened?
I'm
We have
turning
to
on my
blur
light.
out Cheese's junk.
Yeah, sorry. All right.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is whenever they're going to be, and both of you will be streaming it, right, Laurier?
Possibly
I
you.
believe Ronathan for sure will be streaming it. I don't know about Laurier, but he's been really good about streaming most of his matches. These two have met before, actually. Wasn't it Ronathan that put Laurier in the losers bracket?
You mean in the Jordo bracket?
In the
Yes.
Jordo bracket?
Yeah. Ronathan did put Laurier to the Jordo bracket, so yeah, they have met
This
before.
is a revenge.
Yeah,
This is
they're
a revenge
revenging.
match right here. Nice. Very nice.
All right. So this week we're gonna be just doing a little bit of besides do you guys have anything else about the I'm sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. Do you guys have anything else about the finals? Because after that, we're
No,
pretty good.
congratulations to both of y'all for making it so far. We
Yeah.
appreciate you partaking in our tournaments throughout the entire year. Y'all are awesome competitors, and y'all are great friends. And good luck to the winners there, or to the players. And
Hell yeah.
one of y'all are going to walk away with a nice, shiny
Thing.
Jubilee,
Jubilee
X-Men, the
Mallrat.
animated series Mallrat.
Alternate
Not
art
sold in
from
stores.
the 80s.
And not in Pog form, but you
Not
know.
in Pog form either. Actually, I might have a Pog that I made.
Oh, don't
Can't
tempt
think
me.
about that. Don't hurt him, Hammer.
Laurier does hope that it takes 2 matches to finish it. Yeah, man. I hope both your guys' dice roll well. I don't want it to be a thing where one's dice rolls well and the other one just does not have the rolls, because that's always the worst. So
Yeah, that is the worst.
Also, we will be announcing next week. We'll be announcing the next 2-team takeout
I don't know about that. We'll announce it whenever we have.
in the future.
Yeah, we haven't
do it
even
whenever we
talked
got
about it. So
Because I mean, yeah,
It's gonna happen.
yeah,
We just don't know
it
when.
is gonna happen.
yeah.
It's already.
So that's not a
No,
surprise.
we had a schedule for it, so we'll have to look back at the schedule. We just haven't
Yeah.
been able to look at it.
It's
That's
on the
just-
schedule. It doesn't mean it's gonna stick to the schedule.
Yeah.
But the point is, we have something to work with.
Yeah, the 2 people that organize it have been extremely busy. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, we're going to go into a little bit of the spoilers, or yeah, not really spoilers. They're out there. Any cards that we talk about, it's already been spoiled by other other content creators, and we're just leeching off them.
The
Let's just say
not
that.
showing up because of green screen.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But everybody knows Topo Chico hashtag. Please sponsor this guy. He's desperate.
All right.
Sponsor me. I need free Topo Chico in my life.
So
every time we go shopping, Rob, I see those 48 bottle cases of Topo Chico, and I'm like, bro, I want to get some and send them to you.
All right.
So here's
All
a
right.
care package.
There's the Topo Chico talk for the night. Here we go into the.
Well, let's talk about what Chris wants to talk about now,
my
guys. Let's just
God.
stop what we're doing so we can move on because Chris doesn't want to talk about Topo Chico and all its minerals.
Oh my
And
God.
healing quality.
Oh my
Conversation
God.
Before we went right in. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We wanted to lather people up before we just started
Lather
going
people up. All right.
Yes.
That sounds gross.
Could you stop lathering your ass, please? You remember that Mr. Deeds when he walks in on the guy and he's telling him about all this stuff and he's just
Yes.
lathering his ass constantly?
Oh my God.
It's so good. All right, guys. I want to talk about Commander now, not because Chris wants to, but let's talk about the Magic cards.
Strixhaven, for everybody that doesn't know, Strixhaven, the pre-release is going to be next weekend. They're wrapping up the spoilers for the Commander 21 decks, which are going to be coming out beginning of next month.
Yep.
So
The following week,
Pre-orders
isn't it?
are-
After pre-release, isn't it the same time as the
The main set
bundles,
release.
the actual release?
Yeah, the actual
so it's in
release.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
so I'm 1 week off. Yeah. So 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Spoiler season has officially ended for Strixhaven the set, but it hasn't ended for Commander 21.
Yeah. And me and Rob are going to be opening Strixhaven on stream on Saturday.
stream.
Yeah. And that'll probably
This Saturday?
be next Saturday. It's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Yeah,
We got
when you get
Commander.
your boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this Saturday?
This Saturday we have Along Came a Commander guest episode.
With Ben
With
from.
Ben from the
So
Gaming
it's
Avengers.
season 2, episode 5.
No,
Man,
it's
it's been a long
season 3, episode 1, dude.
Season 3, episode 1? Jeez.
Did we only do
Christ,
4
man.
episodes last season?
No, we
That's
did
what I'm
8.
saying. Like,
We had 8
no,
episodes.
Damn, writer
So then-
strike got us.
Well,
We didn't have a whole
damn.
season.
We
Oh
didn't
my
even have a
God.
whole fucking season.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks, COVID. No, a whole season is 12
Right.
episodes. Season 1 had 12 episodes.
I don't know if it did.
I don't think it did.
It
had
doesn't
8.
matter. We're on to a new season.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
looking.
That's
Okay.
all old news. When you buy the DVD set, we'll just combine them.
Yeah. It's true. All right.
That's how that works.
All right.
Lurking whilst I babysit the drugged up husband. Oh, what does that
Appreciate-
mean? I hope he's okay.
Appreciate the lurk, and hopefully you didn't drug him and just lording over him. That'd be weird, but hopefully
Yep.
he feels better.
Because I got high. Da, 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 da. Is it that kind, or is he in some kind of pain or something? I hope he's not in pain. So Wednesday stream for once. Welcome, King of Dad Joke. Welcome.
Made it early
He just got
to
out of
Wednesday
surgery.
stream.
Aw.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we're wishing him a quick recovery, Mr. Wrong.
Hell yeah.
Is your husband Mr. Right and you're Mr. Wrong? Is
That
how
would make sense.
Nickname works?
That would, that
Yeah.
would make a whole lot of sense.
Or maybe his nickname is Mr. Wronger. He's more wrong. Who knows? We just hope he recovers quickly from his surgery.
You good, Rob? You got it all out of your system?
Yeah, you got it out of
No,
your
this
system?
is. Let's talk about Harry Potter the Magic set because that's what this
Okay.
is.
It really
It
is.
kinda is.
It is.
Yeah, it
Like-
kind of is. The only difference is that between behind the Hogwarts houses, instead of like these legendary figures, it's Elder Dragons.
Yep.
All right, so I got the first card on the list. It's Belladraus Witherbloom. It's one of the name set of the schools. So the thing about the school the set,
You're a planeswalker, Harry.
they have cards that basically these dragons created these schools, and these schools are named after these dragons. So it kind of is very. I'm trying to think of the word to say, but they work together
Wow, that
very
was a
well.
Genius lore history there.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
just
plane
they
is
ha-
called Strixhaven.
yeah. I'm just trying to
The
find.
Elder
'cause-
Dragons are the ones that the schools are modeled after. They're not actual they're not actual founders of the schools. The mages chose to kind of honor them by creating schools of magic based off of their representations of the Elder Dragons that still roam the plane.
Okay.
Do y'all want me to tell you the name of the schools or the name of the colleges?
Well, they're
Yeah.
in the dragon's name. Witherbloom, Quandrix.
Oh, are they all in the
Lorehold.
dragon's names?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell
There's
you
Mari and
Okay, well, Witherbloom is the College of Life and Death,
Okay.
which makes sense because it's Golgari colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of reanimation in there, and I guess I'll say which schools they are as we come across the colors, if we come across them.
Well, or Cheesy pulled up Witherbloom first, so
Okay,
that's the one we're gonna do.
sweet.
Life and Death.
Well, there you go. Life and Death. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, if you can.
It.
All right. Belladros, Witherbloom, 5 black green legendary creature Elder Dragon. It's a 4/4 legendary creature Elder Dragon. It has flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with. When this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Also, you can pay 10 life, untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn. So there goes the life and death thing. You can see it there. You pay life, so you lose some life, so you're dying, and you untap all your lands.
Nice.
And you get all your lands back.
So each of the schools, a little bit more
creative
perspective.
tokens.
Each of the schools have a dean that is a legendary creature, or several deans that are legendary creatures that have dual mono face cards. And then what each of the 5 schools do is it's an annual game that they have. This is very much Harry Potter. It's an annual game that they have where they
Quidditch?
each compete.
Oh my
It's
God,
similar to
Quidditch.
Quidditch. In fact, I should have brought up the stadium for you, Cheesy, because I
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
go
it
over
does
that
look like
one.
a Quidditch field.
The stadium is amazing, but it's relative to that. But they have magical games, and they have a cup series and everything,
Reindeer
in
games.
which they become the dominant school for that year.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to put some
So,
things
yeah.
in order.
No, you're
Rob's
good.
cracking me up.
We're trying to talk to give you that time. So what are your impressions on this card after reading it, Rob?
I love it because I like to make tokens. I'm going to play this with Doubling Season because I will, because I love tokens so much. I love board wipes. I got board wipes in black now. So I can create a bunch of tokens, wipe the board. I gain life, and yeah, it's great.
But that
And then I
second
can
ability,
untap all my lands from all the life that I gained from creating all those tokens. So it's a little pricey, especially at 7. Even in standard right now, that's a lot. You can get there. It's just that's like turn 5, 4 or 5 just to play 1 card, and then you get countered, and then you just wasted your whole turn and your whole first 5 turns ramping up to a 7-cost dragon.
And you're crying.
And then you're crying, yeah, for real. In Commander, it's probably a little bit easier. There's ways to sneak it out and get it for cheap and stuff like that. I would try it. I would definitely try to run it. What do y'all think?
so I was looking at the. Go ahead. You go ahead.
For a commander, I think it's fun. It's got green, so you can ramp out with it. That's not going to be a problem. So I think it could be a fun card. That's really what I think about it. I don't like Golgari that much myself.
So if we look at the card, which is what I was doing, I was looking at the card from top to bottom. I'm like 7 costs. Okay, it's an Elder Dragon. That's cool. Flying, yeah, expect as much. The first ability that triggers the beginning of each upkeep is dope. I like that a lot. And the pay 10 life, but you can only activate the ability once each turn. That's balanced. Of course, there's other things you can break it. And I'm like, man, this is a really good creature, except for... Hold up. That's a 4/4? So you're telling me you have to pay 7 for a 4/4? Like, that is really weak in the perspective of things.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about the card. I don't think it's worth running as a commander for that.
I don't think it's a commander
toughness.
itself. It's
definitely
I feel like
in
it
the
goes in the
99.
99 for sure.
Yeah. 'Cause
It's
here's
a
the cool thing
reanimate
you can-
card. You get it in the
Yeah.
graveyard and you pull it out.
Exactly. So that's the cool thing you could do with it. And there's also Necrotic Ooze, which is a 4 cost. That's a 4/3, which lets you use all the activated abilities of creatures in all graveyards. So you pop this bad boy in your graveyard, and you could just use an Ooze and pay 10 life repeatedly. So
I like that.
See, I kind of think the at the beginning of each upkeep, that's kind of broken. But
That's
it
each
does.
No,
upkeep.
that
It's
is
not
good.
your upkeep.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
awesome.
that's each. I know that's what's good about it, but it's not enough to justify the 4/4.
Yeah.
At 7, yeah, I guess so. Because at most you're paying
like,
7 to get 3 blockers by the time you get back to your turn. 4 at that point, and it's probably gonna it'll probably get destroyed by that point. Who knows if you get anything out of it?
Yeah. It's super easy to board wipe,
except for losing 10 life and getting your lands untapped.
I mean,
so like, it's
I mean, if you look at it that way, you get it out, right? You pay the 7, you pay then you pay the 10 life to untap. You kind of got it at a discount, sort of. You know what I mean? 10 life. That's a lot of life, but it's kind of not. Especially if you're running black, you can life key like crazy. So
yeah,
Laurier, that's what Rob was talking about. Is that you can set it up relatively early with green decks.
Yep.
As far as like outright paying the mana cost. But since you have black in your deck, it's often easier to have it in the 99 and just reanimate it with like Animate Dead. And you can do this as quick as turn 1. You can just cards. Dark Ritual, Entomb it, then Animate Dead. And you have a 4/4 that's going to produce a 1/1 token, and it'll still be alive because it's turn 1. So yeah, that's the nutty thing you can do with it.
Hey, Rob?
That's the nuttiest thing.
When did I get that Eldrazi out... like the 12 cost Eldrazi, I think I got it out on turn 4, and it was 12 cost, and I just
probably
I hit the nuts on the lands. I got a Tron lands and just hit lands that produce 2 mana, and it's not that hard in any color. Yeah, in any color, it's not that big a deal. So
if you hit the nuts like you said, then you'll be in a good position to play any cards you want for the most part.
Yeah,
it just has to happen for you.
So in the command zone, you could get it out as easy as turn 5, as quick as turn 5. In the 99, you can get it out as quick as turn 1. So
yeah. All right. So let's go to
this in the 99. I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go to the next card. The first few are in the school that they are. So the next one
cool.
is Witherbloom Command. Yeah.
So for those of you who have been around since Khans of Tarkir, you'll notice a pattern. In Khans of Tarkir block, in the 3rd block specifically, after Fate Reforged, it was Dragons of Tarkir, which had all of the dragons that the clans were named after, but they were back to life, spoilers, and they each had their own commands. They're doing exactly the same thing with Strixhaven, so you might see that theme replayed. A lot of this set borrows heavily from the Khans block in the fact that they're bringing back like mechanic specific things, elder dragons that rule the clans or the schools, and their commands.
Yeah.
All right. I'll read this card again. Yep. Witherbloom Command is black green. It's a sorcery card. You get to choose 2 out of the 4 options here. So target player mills 3 cards, then you return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. Destroy a target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Bye Soul Ring. Target creature gets -3/-1 until end of turn, and target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. With Gilgari, you probably want to mill yourself because you want things in the graveyard to bring things back out, like the dragon we were just talking about. This card won't get the card out, but it'll get it into the graveyard.
Dude,
you get to destroy a Soul Ring.
This is a good card. This is a really good card. Or Arcane Signet. I think Arcane Signet.
Arcane Signet, yeah. Either way.
Dude, this is going to probably go in any card that any deck for Commander that has black green that needs like milling cards in those colors is just like filling your hand essentially. And it's so good in most of the strategies that they have.
We'll get there, Laurier. Learn is a little... So we're talking about these things in the perspective of Commander, because that's what we primarily promote, and that's what we primarily play.
But I play Standard.
So we have a few Standard players and some Modern players in the community. But in all reality, Learn isn't going to really see much play in Commander because we don't have wish boards or sideboards in Commander.
Yeah. All right. So what are your thoughts on this Witherbloom Command, Joe?
Yeah, just what you guys were saying. You guys said it all, so I don't need to say anything.
Okay.
I was just going to say, it's sticking with that theme of life and death. You're gaining life, your opponent's losing life, a creature's losing an attack and defense. You're destroying things, essentially killing it, and you're milling things from your deck into the graveyard, hence death, and you're bringing a land back from your hand as kind of life. So it's on point. It's on theme there.
Yeah.
I like
the only thing is it's sorcery speed, so that kind of sucks. But
that kind of sucks, yeah. But it's really strong though. I feel like it's a strong card.
Oh yeah, it's
think
out of the commands in this block. You're right. In this set, it's actually better than most of the other commands.
Yeah, I think if it was instant, I think it would be broken. Honestly.
Oh,
And it probably
that'd be
would
way
be.
too strong at a 2
Yeah.
cost
Yeah,
for
too
to do
strong.
2 things like that. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Culling Ritual.
Oof. So
Another
this
calling.
is so good in the right context, in the right meta. This is so
Alright.
good. Not even talking commander. This is actually going to be really good in standard. Am I right, Rob?
Let me read the card. So I'm behind. So
You're good.
Culling Ritual, it's 2 black green, so 4
Mhm.
basically. It's a sorcery card as well. And it says destroy each non-land permanent card with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroyed that way. Dude,
Oh my god.
that's you were talking
See,
about
the
easy to ramp and
caveat-
green.
Yeah, dude.
The caveat here is that it's mana value 2 or less. So in a commander game, you really want to be casting this on turn 5 or 6 once everybody has their soul rings and their arcane signets out. Remember, it's even permanents you control. So if you
Yep.
ramped into this, you better have a way to back it up.
I mean,
Like
you could
those tokens that we were talking about, like Laurier said,
The
aka
dragon-
Rage Against the Tokens.
you could most likely cast your dragon commander if you had the Witherbloom commander with this on turn 4.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean-
Especially if you're in a 4-man game and everybody has at least a soul ring or an arcane signet out.
Yeah.
And a mana
Yeah.
dork.
Yep.
Yep. I think the downside to this is you get one or the other, but you should. If you're using a card like that, besides using it as a board wipe, you're using it to ramp, to get mana. You probably already have a mixed mana base already, so you're probably good with getting 4 to 5, green mana or 4 or 5 swamp, whatever,
That
a black
kinda
mana.
sucks.
So it kind of does, but you should have your mana, I feel like, already set up to do things with.
I wish you
Yeah,
did
this
it
is
like
really
each
good
permanent
in-
you destroyed generated a black or a green, not for each permanent. That's not as good as I thought it was. So it's okay.
Hold on, add black or green for each
For
permanent.
each
Maybe you get to
permanent
choice.
destroyed this way. Yeah.
So you get a choice. For each
get a
one, you
choice.
pick one or the other. Okay,
Yeah.
so you get to mix it up. Okay, then it is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your
All right.
own frailty is your undoing. I am merely the one to expose it.
Okay.
Yep.
Fucking hot.
Okay, so about this card, it's really spicy. It's really spicy late game too because you can wipe the board of everything especially if
Me.
you're running like elf board or elf ball.
elf ball. Jeez.
Yeah, you're running elf ball. Let's say you're running blue or green
I
black
love
elf
elf
ball
ball.
with that new
Yeah.
with that new commander from the previous commander sets that we just had. Anyway, with that new
Yeah.
elf ball commander. And then you follow this up with something like a living end or a living death or even a patriarch's bidding where you get to call elves and just bring them all back on your side.
Call them. I'm gonna call them Kokum.
Oh.
And then or you do Rise of the Dark Realms, which is basically bring everything back under your control from all graveyards.
Yeah, and I'm a token boy, so this would have hurt me to play if you played it against me. However, if I play it for myself, since I am a token boy, I'm gonna get a shit ton of mana.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
go ahead and destroy my commander. I don't care. I got the mana to bring him back.
I think this could be the most expensive or worst 4 cost mana ramp in the game, or the best at far and away the best, depending on
It
what's
depends on the
on
board state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good in CEDH because everybody by turn 2 or 3, which is when you have the mana to cast this, everybody already has their mana vaults and their mana, their mana crypts and their lotuses out. So
They can cast this on
bye.
turn 2, most likely.
yeah, and I mean,
Jeez.
like everybody has like all that crazy like arcane signets, soul rings, mana, like all those fast manas and mana dorks are out. So like on turn 2, you're in a CDH pod. You cast this and you have counter backup for it. You're just set.
Yeah.
Like people are already
Jeez.
playing their Dockside Extortionists on turn 2 or 3.
Yeah. Making
This is a
10
dirty
mana.
card, man. It's so strong. It's so strong.
It's really good.
All right, next card.
I'm glad it's sorcery.
Yeah,
Here-
I'm kind of glad it's sorcery speed as well.
Here's someone for Rob. It's his boo,
My boo, who is it?
Professor
It's
Onyx.
behind Professor Onyx. My girl Lily got herself an education. All right, Professor
She's settling
Onyx.
down.
She's settling down. We're getting married soon. Look for the invites. The RSVPs are in the mail.
The save dates.
Save the dates. Yeah, that's what I meant. All right. So Professor Onyx is a legendary Planeswalker, Liliana. She's 4 black, so 6 total. And she has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's just ridiculous right off the bat.
That's the new keyword from the set, by the way. Everyone.
Is Magecraft, yeah. +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard.
Yes.
There goes that mill effect.
Yeah.
But you get to pick what's going in there, which is really cool. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures that player controls. That's a good way to get rid of a big boy. And then -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. And she starts off with 5 loyalty. That ultimate's kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. So yeah, basically discard your entire hand is what it sounds like to me, because you probably have 6 or 7 cards.
If you're in Witherbloom, you could put Doubling Season in the deck and just multi her first turn.
So she's not. I think she may or may not be. I can't remember who she's the professor of. If it's Witherbloom or if it's
Yeah.
She's
Silver
Defense
Portal.
Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
she.
it's a great card, right, Steph?
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
wanted
be
to
in
just
the
get it
dark.
in there as quick
Yeah,
as we
pretty
could
much.
for Rob.
Yeah.
So
I
So
love her
Rob,
so much.
talk about your girl. Talk about your girl here.
I think being able to, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, all I gotta do is cast a spell,
Mhm.
an instant or sorcery, and my opponent's losing 2 life. Ridiculous. She does cost 8 though. If you're doing mono black, that's kind of hard in standard. In Commander, getting things out that cost 8 or 6 is not that
She
bad.
costs
I'm sorry.
6, yeah.
She costs 6. Sorry, 6 mana playing mono black is kind of tough. Just to get countered by some bullshit, but the Magecraft ability is worth it. You gain 2 life. You can throw in there with a veto. Not only are you gaining 2 life and doing 2 damage for Lily's effect, you're also going to do 2 damage because of Vito's effect, because you gain 2 life. So that's 4 damage combo right there. And then you can just play little weenie instant spells and continue to do that. Her plus ability, losing a life to be able to pick a card and then dump the other ones, is really good. There's reanimate stuff in black right now in standard that lets you pull back some of the cheaper costed cards and put them into the field. So for 3 mana, you can play 2 cards, and then you can use like village rights to sacrifice those weenies that you just brought in, do more damage with Professor Onyx, and deal more damage with Vito, and then you're just off to the races at that point.
Yeah.
Then the -3, each opponent sacrifices. There's a lot of big boys in standard right now. Vorinclex is a big deal. Elder Gargaroth. We're just going to see even bigger things coming with this set. So being able to force your opponent to sacrifice those creatures is awesome. And the -8 ability, and the discard is like a thing now, guys, with Tigrid coming around. This is going to be great with the Tigrid combo, because not only are you dealing damage.
Coming through.
Is this the Yu-Gi-Oh? Yes, it's time to do.
The only problem with Vorinclex, you would only have 3 counters on her, so you would destroy herself.
That's the bad thing. Yeah, but it's worth it to get rid of Vorinclex, honestly.
Oh yeah,
you can
100%.
You can Blood on the Snow, and you can bring her back
Yep.
if you pay with 6 snowlands, and she comes right back. So
if you're not playing
there's
with
a lot of good
Snowlands,
stuff in black right now.
you need to play with Snowlands.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong if you're not using Snowlands at this point.
This is just in standard that we're talking about.
I'm just talking about standard, and then her -8 ability again with Tigrid, it's ridiculous. Everything that gets discarded with Tigrid, guess what? You get to play. It goes to your side of the board.
Dude, so discarded or destroyed, Tigrid's like, I think I'm gonna take that. Yeah,
Ooh, that looks good. I think I'll have that.
Do you
In Commander,
have that in
y'all are gonna
black?
have to tell me. In Commander, I think her +1 ability probably is the one that we're really excited about, and the Magecraft ability. Overall, I don't know how well she'll do in Commander. I mean, she's Lily, so I would love to play her, but
Well, let's see. In
let me know.
Commander, what can you do that you can make infinite? Oh,
Storm.
I know. Dramatic reversal under an Isochron Scepter with a Soul Ring, and you just win because you go infinite with just that thing alone, because you're copying a spell, which means that each opponent's going to lose 2 life. And then you get to untap your permanents, tap them again, copy that same spell, untap. You do this until everybody at the table is dead, and you have an infinite life.
Does Storm count towards Magecraft?
Yes.
So Tendrils.
Storm says copying the spell for each spell that was cast that turn.
Yeah, so Tendrils Storm could just destroy everyone at the table.
Mm-hmm.
So
with any Storm card, any Dramatic Reversal version, any kind of way to just continuously play, like Yawgmoth's Will is a black, like if we're just talking about putting this in a Tegra deck, like you were saying, Rob, if you just put it in a mono black Tegra deck, you go through and it's really mid-rangey, right? So the deck is really mid-rangey. You sit there and you make sure that everybody drains their resources either from their hand via discarding or you board wipe, right? And then you turn around and you play a Yawgmoth's Will. You get to play all those spells back from your graveyard and trigger her Magecraft at the same time.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yawgmoth's Will, you're like, oh, shucks, guys, you destroyed all my stuff. Oh, geez. I'm just going to go ahead and play it again, though, with infinite mana, and I have ways to do things with it this time, so we're good, right? We're good? All right, cool. Everyone's tapped out. You're dead. I think
this is really good. Like, I see a lot of like dual colored decks, like blue-black and even black-red or black-white running this.
Brawl deck.
Okay, calm down. I think Magecraft is going to be kind of a game changer in Commander, honestly.
I think so too, man.
Because
no doubt.
it's like an additional spell on just another card, and that's it.
Yeah, hers is the most... So out of the whole set, by the way, everybody, I've actually been looking. Out of the whole set, her Magecraft ability is the most powerful because it guarantees closing out the games.
Yeah.
There are other Magecraft abilities that we haven't talked about, that we won't be able to talk about, that do stuff like copy spells or make creature tokens or buff your team. But hers is the one that has each opponent losing life, whereas other ones have like target opponent losing life.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. We've talked about Professor Oak and her Pokemons.
I love Professor Onyx, stupid.
All right.
Oh, he said it.
He said the thing.
All right. Now we have Galazeth Prismari. This is the next Elder Dragon.
So Prismari is the College of Elemental Arts.
Mm-hmm.
So Galazeth Prismari is 2 blue-red legendary creature Elder Dragon that is a 3/4. And it has flying, and it says, when Galazeth Prismari enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Awesome already. Artifacts you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. That's pretty good. All your artifacts, regardless of what they are now mana rocks.
For instance,
and treasures turn into actually usable things that just don't go away.
What are treasures? Are the treasures the ones that you sacrifice to draw a card?
Yeah, they're tokens that you tap and sack to add mana of any color.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to sack them; you just tap them.
You just tap them.
Oh.
And if you have there's a few dragons the one dragon that doubles up mana from tokens. I wonder if it would still double up the mana from the token even if you don't sacrifice it.
No, it's when you sacrifice a treasure to add mana, add 2 instead of 1.
Yeah,
I thought it said produces 2.
Gold span dragon. It says whenever you sacrifice it to.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, that sounds.
They're calling me out on my bullshit.
No, I believe you. I want to read it because Chris isn't going to believe you. When Goldspan Dragon attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. Treasures you control have tap to sacrifice this artifact. Add 2 mana of 1 color. So you have to sacrifice it. But you still get to create the token, the treasure tokens with Goldspan Dragon. Plus, you can use the what is the dwarf that came out? That whenever you tap a dwarf.
Yeah. She starts with B. I just can't remember her
Magda.
name. But yeah.
Magda. Yeah, Magda.
Yeah.
So anytime you tap a dwarf, you create a treasure.
That's horrible. It's chroma keyed to
Oh.
bro.
It's
What
red
is?
too. It's Magda.
His Magda.
Oh. But yeah, so Magda, anytime you tap a dwarf, you create a treasure token. Now you have, oh my god, yeah, geez. Anytime you do it, you're going to get these tokens. Now you have all this mana to pop your instant or sorceries with red and blue. That's kind of what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
With that mana base.
Yes, that's exactly what you want to do.
And all the stuff that I just said was standard stuff. I don't really play a lot of red and blue, so I'm going to leave that up to you guys. At 3/4 at a 4-cost dragon, I don't think that's that bad. I think it's pretty
That's
decent,
insane.
honestly.
No, it's
That's insane.
Even for commander,
Yeah.
you put it between the 3 to 5 range in commander, and people are just like, all right, that's playable. Like that's an instant playable.
It costs 3 mana essentially because it plays it. You get a treasure token with it when it enters the battlefield, and then you could tap that token to spend mana of any color.
Yeah.
So there's a card that
insane.
was printed in Modern Horizons that was kind of like that. It's actually Mike's favorite. It's Urza. So
Oh yeah.
it says
I have
it
Urza.
says you can tap them to add a blue, and you don't have to use that on only instants and sorceries. There you
Yeah.
go. So the reason why this is so good
That's mine.
is because it gives you more access to an extra color instead of just mono blue as a commander. So having this in your command zone is really huge. But there's also a lot of other blue and red cards that make treasure tokens, like Brass's Bounty, which costs 7. It's a sorcery, and it says add a treasure token for each land you control.
Oh my god.
So let's say you're up in the late game, mid to late game, you have this bad boy out, you cast Brass's Bounty, and then you get 9 to 10 more treasure tokens that you can immediately use for the next spell. And especially we talked about Storm before, and that counts towards Storm decks. This is a Storm friendly card right here. You want to be using it for 2 things. You want to be using it for Storm decks, or you want to be using it for big X spell decks. Like X spells that, just kill the table, like Comet Storm.
Yeah. What is the what is blue red called? What is that?
Is it?
It's the
Is
Is
it?
It Guild. Yep.
Is it?
Shut up.
Uh,
Shut up. Shut up. I hate
Shut
you.
up.
I hate you.
All
right.
Shut up.
Got him. All right.
All right.
What's next?
Next one.
I like
Priz-
it. I think there's a lot of cards to go with blue and red and standard right now, so I think that this is just going to get added to the Sprite Dragons until it gets rotated out. So,
All right. Prismari Command.
ooh, Prismari Command, 1 blue and red. It's an instant. So this is an instant card, and you get to choose 2 out of 4. Prismari Command deals 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards. Target player creates a treasure token and destroy target artifact. You remember that card that we just showed where you're making tokens and tapping them for mana?
Yeah.
You can use this at instant speed. You got a mana at the end of your opponent's turn that you get to tap on your turn. Hopefully they tapped out and and they don't counter your shit, or they're saving their counter because they don't think that that's going to be a big deal. This seems like a good card all around, guys. I don't know about you, but I like it. 3 is a little pricey, but I feel like it's fine.
This card. It's
What's
in
that?
Is It colors, and it doesn't counter any kind of spell. That's my problem with this instant. Is that out of all the commands that we've previously had, or any variant of a blue-red spell that's an instant, it's countered something to some degree. And this one doesn't. And I don't like that
Well,
about the card. But everything else I like. But
how
I
many
don't
counters
like-
does Is It need, honestly? It doesn't need all of those
So,
counters.
in the scheme of things, even in standard, but more so in commander, when it's a singleton format, there's 99 cards you have to dig through to get to that one card. You need a card that does everything.
Yeah.
You need a card that can do counter plus, destroy
I
plus,
feel like
draw
if
plus.
it did counter plus, it would cost more than 3, probably
Yeah.
more than 4.
I think it would
I mean,
cost like
so-
5.
It wouldn't matter probably because you'd have the mana with if
Yeah,
you're using
like
it in
there
this
are
thing.
five color. There are 5 mana
Yeah.
value. We'll use the new term. There are 5 mana value cards that do the same thing that have multiple choice, but they also counter cards
Yeah.
like Mystic.
I think that's what you sacrifice here, though. You sacrifice that counter ability for a cheaper cost to do multiple things.
It's
So- It may be disappointing to not have a counter, but I feel like it's still pretty balanced, especially
yeah.
especially in standard where there's so many fucking counters right now.
Well,
it's
there's a
ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
So-
I'm talking like post rotation. You're gonna get those cut in half.
Kind of. There's still a lot of counters. Saw it coming right now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sublime Epiphany is the big.
Sublime Epiphany is so good.
Is the big counter.
I love that counter. That's the 6
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
blue one.
There you go, right there.
And you get to do 4 things.
Yeah.
You get to do all 4 of those things.
You get to choose
for
one
6.
or more.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, they have obviously you have to be able to use the ability, but you can use all 4 of them if the time is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just for me, what I want out of this is just either counter target non-creature spell or counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, or
That would
whatever.
be cool. Yeah, if it was like a situational counter, then I'd be
Yeah.
fine with that. What's that? I can't make it out.
That.
Yuriko.
Oh.
Oh
my God.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for Saturday.
You're right, Laurier. I do like it. It still does a lot of things, even in Commander. But in Commander specifically, you want it to counter a spell, if anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's better counter spells
Yeah.
that you can have. I wouldn't want to waste it, because if you look at what it does, right, the 4 options that you have, you only get to pick 2. All 4 of those options are pretty decent, in my opinion,
Right.
especially in Commander.
So, the one that I'm comparing
the
it to
top one is
the,
the worst one on there.
Yeah.
Deals 2 damage.
That's the worst one. You could sacrifice
the
that.
one I'm
but
comparing
then
it
you
to
have
is
give
the
up one,
Is
I
It
feel like.
Charm, which the Is It Charm
well,
is
that's
deals
gold
2 damage
standard.
to a creature. It's counter target non-creature spell, unless its controller pays 2, or it's draw 2 cards, or draw a card, discard a card.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 modes, and those are pretty damn good. I mean,
But that's
they
the
could've
gold
used that
standard.
base.
That's the gold standard for Is It though, and that's like what all commands type things are based on, or are they compare it to.
And that's
if
a
it's
choose
anything
one
less,
choose one card though.
but
yeah.
it's situational, but it's a toolbox.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's-
I like it. I think it's a nice, solid card. I don't think it's the best card. I don't think it's worse. It's a little bit above average. I would play.
I would still possibly choose the Witherbloom command over this, though. I probably
Okay.
would.
Yeah, if you're gonna rank them, yeah, probably so. But I think all 4 abilities are pretty solid. It just
Yeah.
depends on your deck. It could be great
The
for your
destroy
deck.
target
It
artifact
could
is
just
really
be like
good.
meh.
Yeah.
But like
And the
Jason
token.
said, the top one is just like not as good as
It's mediocre at best.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is any
in standard,
target.
you're going to be getting rid of. Yeah, you can get rid of a mana dork and something else. You know what I mean, like a arcane signet or a soul ring or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think it does some work. I feel like, especially at instant speed.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I'm not
saying
saying
is
it's like the worst. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I
it's
get
not
it.
as
Oh, yeah.
good in the scheme of Is It Commander, cards.
Yeah.
if
But
you
like
get someone
she said,
down to
that's
2
such
life.
a great card. Sorry.
Yeah. If you get someone down to 2 life,
Oh,
this actually does a lot of work.
Oh,
But-
I hate when that happens. When I get
Yeah.
fucking. What is it?
By
Bolts?
By the way, yeah, don't ever sleep on lightning bolts in a Commander game,
Yeah.
because you're thinking like, oh, dude, who puts lightning bolts in their 99?
Oh,
This
well,
guy.
they do.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to
Especially
the
when you
next
can
one.
multiply the damage. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
or storm count it. All right.
Yeah.
Prismari Campus. I don't like this card. Joe, just gonna say it right now.
This is a land card.
Yeah.
Think about it this way, okay? When in the scheme of things, right, in the past, like looking through the history of Magic and all the basic utility, I'm going to call them utility lands or dual lands. You've
Yeah.
had just the lands that come into play tap that produce one or the other. You've had the guild gates, which are fetchable now, and there's plays around the guild gates. Then you've had the refuges, or the where they gain a life for you. And now you have these that the upside isn't that isn't those things, it's that you can scry late game whenever you're like top deck mode. You're in top deck mode. Or you can scry whenever you need to. Yeah, it's cost 4, but
It costs
you're
5!
mid to late game. I understand that, but mid to late game, this is actually good to have.
This is trash. Honestly, it's very trash.
I mean,
5 to
I see
scry
what
1.
you're-
5 to scry
Okay,
1
after
is
I put in all
awful.
my basic lands, and after I put in all my rares and all my fetches, I still have slots for about 3 to 5 lands. Am I gonna put one of these in there? Yes, I am.
I can see how it's beneficial when you put it in that instance where you're already down the road, where you're in top deck mode, you have nothing to play, you have mana out the wazoo. Why not scry a 1? I can
Well,
see the
especially if
benefit.
you're
It's not going to
untapping
work in
lands.
standard. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
This is a trash card for standard.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the temples are so much better.
Yeah.
And we still have those for a full rotation.
And temples are trashed. Temples are good. It's just compared to like a regular dual lands or whatever,
There's so
or
much
shock
mill
lands.
too. It doesn't even matter.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if this was
Fuck no, I didn't.
2 tap scry 1, I would
Yeah.
I would be on board with it. But it's because you got to tap the card itself, so it's essentially 5 to scry 1.
Yeah.
That's kind
I'll
of
agree.
It's a little
yeah,
pricey.
That's
It's a little
bad.
pricey.
That's real bad. But I'm saying,
ain't good.
like, in the grand scheme of things, I would much rather have this in my 99 than just a regular comes in and play tap land.
yeah.
Hey, Legion, thanks so much for stopping by.
We're just arguing over cards, so you know.
Yeah,
usual.
I
It's
think-
not, I mean, again, it's not like I'm saying this is first pick, right? This is not first pick.
Well, look at Castle of Ventress. Castle of Ventress comes into play tapped unless you control an island, which is good, right?
What is going on?
And then you have that's not me.
yeah,
that's
that's
me. Sorry, I'm trying
That's
to
all right.
charge the wife's
Okay.
thing.
It's all right.
And then you can pay 2 blue to scry 2. So you're paying 4,
You're
basically
paying
5.
5. Yeah.
You're paying 5 to scry 2, which is more value, I feel like, than paying 5 to scry 1. Obviously, you get to scry 1 more deeper.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like that's a lot. And if you're having to do that, you're probably losing anyway.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
standard, especially in Commander. I think that's great value. Like Joe said, if you're late game, you're top decking, maybe both have stalled out, which happens a lot. But you're probably in a tough situation. Yes, it's good to have that utility, but only going 1 deep, I don't think it's beneficial.
See, in Commander, I think if you're at parity with everyone at the table, everyone's even, and it's just everyone's stalled out. Yeah, it's good value because you're trying to get deeper than everyone else. But what happens at every Commander table? There's one person just going beyond
Going
what
ham?
anyone. Yeah, and then everyone else is just
Ultra?
sitting there.
Rob,
No,
Me? What the fuck?
Joe. And everyone
what
else
did I
is everyone else is left with a bag of holding, trying to like discard a card to draw a card, and they're like, "Oh, geez, this is their awful." Actually, bag of holding is great compared
bad.
to
Yeah.
this. This is great compared to this card, but yeah, I don't
so
know.
let me just
Give me
break
a
it down
temple.
to you. Like in
Break
the
it down
scheme
now.
of themes,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
In the
oh,
scheme of themes,
oh.
you already have your temple in there. You already have most of your land slots.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
just looking for something that isn't a basic or something that's going to give you more than what a basic does.
Yeah,
This is
something that's
the
going to
land.
trigger your Field of the Dead. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You
Wait,
just
wait.
like Wizards did this for every single one of the schools. We're not going to go over every single one of them, just so you know. That
Are they all
this
scry
isn't-
1 or do they all have
They're
different
all
utilities?
every single one of them do the same thing. No, every single one of them do the same
lame.
thing. 4 to scry 1, 4 and tap.
It'd be funny if one of them, the Golgari one, was 4 tap and destroy, kill target creature. That'd be awesome.
Right.
So
That
the
would be
reason
awesome.
why I wanted to bring this in, and even Cheesy was like, "Why are we doing this?"
Yeah,
It's
it's a
because
trash card.
to show everybody that we're Wizards is like, all right, we're gonna do more with just our common lands because anybody who plays Pauper, this is actually fantastic for Pauper players.
I have a feeling
I
that
can
Pauper players will probably be like, this is not that good either. They have
I can
explosive
see
You
it
haven't
being
played a
a-
game of Pauper, bro. I've played a few games of Pauper, and this is fucking great.
I can see this being beneficial. I really can. But again, if you're that far out where you're having to spend 5 to scry 1, you're probably not in a really good spot, and you're going to lose the game anyway. But I can see the benefit to it though.
You know what happens 9 times out of 10 when I scry and there's a land on top and I put it on the bottom? Guess what I draw?
You get another land.
Yeah.
Yeah, same dude.
All right, so moving on. Like,
Moving on up.
Yeah, we'll just move on. But that
It's
is
cool.
the
It's another
thing.
land. Yeah, it's not bad. If it was like a basic that said like island and mountain, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So
That
you can
would
always
be-
fetch it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Did
have
I
that.
not give you another signature spell? I didn't give you another signature spell for the Prismari,
No,
did I?
I had to find the Prismari command myself, so. Unless it's something else
okay.
in there. Let me.
No, it's in there.
What's
I
it
didn't
called?
Give
So-
you another.
I can bring it up if you
I
need me
didn't.
to.
No. I didn't give you another one. I have
Okay.
it in the folder. I didn't put it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
So this is Shadrick's Silver Quill. So Silver Quill College of Eloquence is what Black White is. The Orzhov colors, one of my favorites combinations. It is a 2/5, which is not very good. But it is 3 white black, so 5 total. Legendary creature Elder Dragon. It has flying and double strike, so that 2 becomes 4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose 2. Each mode must target a different player. Target player creates a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. I love that already. Target player draws a card and loses a life. Target player puts a 1/1 counter on each creature they control. I don't know how I feel about this card, man. I don't like giving things to my opponent. That's not my play style.
You don't have to. You could just
It
choose
says
one and not
each
two.
mode must
You
target a
choose
different player.
player.
But
yeah.
you may choose
Oh, you may
two.
choose. Okay, you may choose to. Okay, there's a may.
Oh, so you can
All right, I'm
choose
fine with
1
that.
or
I'll create the
0.
token and call it a day.
Or
So I'm okay with that.
yeah, you could abuse the shit out of this card, honestly.
Or put a 1/1 counter on each creature. Okay, I feel a lot better about this. I can put this in there with my Felidar Retreat and just go ham with the 1/1 counters on things. I can put the little, what is the artifact that came in Ikoria,
Ozolith?
where you can put all the counter, the Ozolith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once my stuff dies, put all the counters onto the Ozolith. Bring something back out. Put all the counters on
Yeah,
that.
it's 2 or 0, by the way. It's not you
Oh.
may choose up to 2. So it's 2 or 0. So when you want to do it, you can choose which
you
mode
have to
to
choose
do it.
to.
So, but let's just say this, Rob, going back to that scenario that you're talking about, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you're favored in combat or you're favored in board position or board state. Yeah, you can give them that 2/1, but you're giving a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control and swinging in for the win. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter if they have that
I
extra
don't-
blocker.
Yeah, or if they get that extra card draw and lose that
Yeah.
life,
You don't
that
wanna
might
do
As a matter of
benefit
fact,
me.
You
in
don't
the
want to do
scheme of
that.
things,
I don't
you're
like giving
them an
people
extra
card
card
draw,
and they're
but yeah.
losing the life that you're about to take from them with the +1/+1 counter on each. Like you're going for the win. That gets them closer to death. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it is
like-
a May ability, so you don't have to do either one of them. You might have already done the things you needed to do up to that point,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to do any of it. So I like it, especially with Anointed Procession on my side.
Oh my
I'll
God.
create the tokens. I'll do that. So I have no problem with that. There's cards in standard right now. What's the one that I think it's called something Dreams, where an opponent draws a card, they lose a life.
Underworld
So
Dreams.
Underworld Dreams. So now you're going to lose 2 life from drawing that one card. So there's ways to abuse this. I feel like in standard. In Commander, I'm not 100% other than putting an Anointed Procession on things and having the ability to reanimate with black. And gain some life with white, but I don't even think that even matters.
So there's
so
for
y'all
the-
tell me.
for the token, there's Suture Priest, which whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, they lose a life. There's also the spell from, I think it's Theros actually. Creature tokens get -1/-1, so you can give them that
I love
2/1
that
all
card.
day, but then they're just dead, right? And you don't have to worry about tokens because you're not producing tokens, you're actually producing bodies, like non-token permanents.
Exactly. So if I have that on the board, my opponent can get those 2/1 tokens. They get -1/-1. Now they're a 1/0. They instantly die. Plus, I can choose the bullet there that gives all of my creatures +1/+1, and those are counters, so they stack up. Even though I may be losing that -1/-1 on my side, I'm gonna get it right back with that counter when I swing. So, yeah, that's pretty. I didn't even think of that.
Here's the other thing you could do: put Solemnity in the deck, and try to get that out as soon as you can. And
What does
just
Solemnity do?
you can't put counters on
Creatures
things.
or players can't have counters
Counters.
added to them.
Yeah. So you just give someone else the counter and just do whatever you need for on your stuff. So the 2/1 you could put on your side, and if you have that one enchantment that increases the your creatures, you have anthems on your side, you'll win every single time each exchange.
Well, there's even enchantments and creatures that say like creatures you control get +1/+1, creatures that opponents control get -1. There's Elish Norn, as a matter of fact.
I love Elish Norn. You
Elish
get
Norn,
+2.
You get your side gets +2, whereas their side gets -2. So if you really need to draw a card, you just be like, here, you can have a 2/1 that's dead. I'll just draw a card and
Instantly.
lose a life.
So,
Yeah.
Rob, I don't see
times.
why you don't love this card. This card could
Oh,
be
I love
pretty
it
broken.
now. After looking at it, I totally love this card.
So you were talking about the 2/5, right? You were talking about the 2/5. So
Yeah.
let's get into the 2/5. The double strike is the caveat, like you said.
Exactly.
So target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. That 2/5 then becomes a 3/5, which is swinging for 6 instead of 4 now.
I can see some bullshit with Rob putting sort of
It's
the animus
all
in this
upside.
deck.
Oh man, I need to order a
It's
Sword of the
all
Animus.
upside.
By the way,
It's
I was thinking
100%
about
upside.
that when I was taking a shower. I was like, I got my cards in the mail. Oh, I need to order a Sword of the Animus. I can ramp like I do on Moto. But yeah, I would love it. I would love to have a Sword of the Animus on this.
This card is probably next to Prismari. I'd say this is for me. This is like second best.
Yeah, this is
out of the
pretty good.
dragons.
I think there's some busted stuff you can do in Commander, and there's probably some crazy BS you can do in Historic and Standard with this card.
So I mean,
if
you
you're
can make
out
it to where
there,
this is all upside.
Yeah, I don't really see a downside other than it costing 5. I think it's still good. And then even with it being black and white, again, reanimate spells. There's stuff that you can bring this back with.
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth Conquers Death. You can bring this back with a +1/+1 counter on it. And you can get rid of something on your opponent's side.
Elspeth Conquers Death is so good.
It's only going to be in rotation until rotation happens or whatever.
Hey, it's always going to be in Commander's rotation.
That's true. Also, I just wanted to point out if you're watching and you're not familiar with Magic and you're interested in these cards, you think they're cool or interesting, install install Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena. Arena is free to play.
It's free to play. Online gaming sensation.
It's the online gaming sensation. It's taking the nation by storm, and you can play these cards for free. And the more you play, the more gold coins you get, and the more gold coins you get, the more packs you can buy. And all you have to do is complete challenges. So it's a pretty fun way to get into the game, a cheap and expensive way. You can spend money if you want to. It's only if you want to. But if you're interested in Magic, I suggest getting Arena.
All right.
So what Rob means by completing dailies is that Wizards of the Coast gives you when you first sign on. They give you pre-constructed beginner decks.
A bunch of cards.
With Strixhaven, you will get a new set of 5 to 6 decks that are pre-constructed from current standard that will have different colors and different color combinations so that you can get those daily challenges completed and add more gold so you can spend that gold on boosters and get wild cards or the specific cards that you need.
Plus, we're going to have Brawl Showdowns here pretty soon on our channel to where you can participate in a tournament that we put on for Brawl. So,
show.
All right, next card.
Moving on. Cinderquill Command. Oh, Silverquill, Cinderquill. It's a Pokemon card.
Pokemon.
Silverquill Command.
Ooh, what's up?
What's up, Mike? You can't choose. Oh, okay, we got rid of that. So this is a 2 white black, and it's a sorcery card. You get to choose 2. It's another one of those choose 2 cards. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn.
Ooh.
Return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Target player draws a card and loses a life. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. I like this card a lot. Usually, people aren't usually ready for flyers.
Yeah.
You don't see very many flyers in standard unless you come across angels, which is kind of a thing right now. Maybe some birds because that Elrond's Epiphany or whatever his name is.
That's such a good card.
But a 3/3 flyer out of nowhere, dude, that's ridiculous. Being able to return a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield, you need that emergency blocker. There you go. There's some good 2 mana or less. There's a card right now that if you return it to the battlefield from the graveyard, you immediately exile it and it becomes a 5/5 flyer.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You just went from a 1/1 to a 5/5 flying token demon creature.
This is sorcery.
Someone drawing a card
it's not.
Sorry, sorcery. Yeah, sorcery, my bad. But also, target player draws a card, loses a card. Shit, I'd do it. I'll do it to myself. I like drawing cards. And your opponent sacrifices a creature. Yeah, try me. Come at me, bro. Your opponent sacrificing a creature. The unfortunate thing is you don't get to pick one. Your opponent can pick their weakest one. Maybe they have like a crappy 0/4 wall that they're not going to do anything with. They'll sacrifice that or a goat or something. That kind of sucks. But it's 1 less blocker on the board.
Yeah.
Overall, I like this card. This is a solid card, I feel like.
For standard, I think it's good. For commander, it's okay.
Probably not that
mediocre.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, getting your commander, adding +3/+3 and flying to your commander,
No,
that's commander
good.
damage.
So it's good, but this is a standard card. This is not a commander. This isn't an auto include.
It's not a staple. Yeah.
It's not a staple. It's not something that you're gonna go looking for.
Oh my god! If it said instead of creature card, it said target card with mana value 2 or less, I think
Oh, that would be dope.
that would be
But
an
we already
auto include
have
in every
something
block.
like that. We already have something like that in
From the
Witherbloom Command.
warehouse.
Again, this is like it's less like Witherbloom Command is just really setting a bar for these command spells in this block or in this set.
All right.
I mean, this is the school of eloquence, guys.
Oh
It
my
is. Another thing that you'll notice
Anything else is
on the
uncivilized.
artwork and the theme is that they deal with ink and ink type of magic, which is super cool. So they're mainly scribes as well as they use the ink for nefarious purposes to gain
All right.
power. So yeah.
Eloquently, of course.
All right, next card. This is just to show that
They're
yes,
the
they're
best
all
choice.
that. These lands are all this trash.
Silver Quill Campus. Okay.
Yes, they are.
All right, next one.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Next card. Tenazir Quandrix. All right, so Quandrix is the College of Numeromancy. So Tenazir Quandrix is a 3 blue-green legendary creature, Elder Dragon. It's a 4/4. It has flying and trample. When Tanazir Quandrix enters the battlefield, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature you control. When Tanazir Quandrix attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to Tanazir Quandrix's power and toughness until end of turn. So,
Oh, whoa. Okay. Whoa.
all right, you're more familiar with blue-green. This is what is this combination called? Simic. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Super
wow.
OP Simic.
Wow. Okay. So this card can basically you're supposed to with this deck if you have it in Commander or in Standard, you basically are supposed to make a bunch of 0/0 tokens that you put 1/1 counters on, and if you can increase something's power by 4 just by attacking, that's broken. That essentially can almost double or sometimes triple depending on how many 1/1 counters it has. You could just power through a lot of damage just adding 4 power and toughness to something. It's kind of nuts.
So
yeah.
Rob, remember how you were talking about the Algermon's spell, the one that creates the birds?
Oh, the Epiphany? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our Aldrin's Epiphany, like imagine playing an Aldrin's Epiphany and having this out on the board. Those 2/2s then become 4/4s, flyers, and you get an extra turn after that.
Ugh. How dope would that be? And you get to swing it again with those 4/4 flyers. Flying and trample. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, right now you have Thassa out there. So guess what? You can flash in Tanazir. Or not flash in, what's it called? Blink in Tanazir. And now you doubled it once it came into the battlefield, and once you flash it at the end of your turn, you just doubled something again.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. That's double. So it's like it's crazy, dude.
Triple.
Yeah. Did that one card rotate out? The one that doubles the amount of counters? It's that Hydra something. You remember I used to play that card?
It's about to rotate out.
It's about to rotate out. So imagine that. Imagine that. Isn't it an enchantment?
It is.
So you attach it to a creature. It gives something a 1/1 counter, and then it doubles it every turn. So then you come in with Tanazir and double that. Imagine how big that creature could get with Thassa out there. That's fucking ridiculous. And all you gotta do is give it trample, and you can do that. You can do that with that one card that I like to play. That gives all your creatures trample, and then you draw a card every time a 4/4 creature comes into play.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Garruk's Uprising.
Yeah, that's such a good
That
card.
just sits out there.
Yeah. Sits out there like a turd.
It does. It really does. So I like this card. What about for Commander? Y'all tell me. I don't really play blue-green in Commander, so y'all tell me.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, there's 2 cards out there that give creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them trample. There's also cards that give a +1/+1 counter on each of your creatures in Simic colors. There are creatures that do that. There's cards that double the amount of counters in Simic colors just alone. So there's an entire deck already. There's auto includes for this deck already. You
Yeah.
just basically you're trading one commander for another. This one just makes your creatures bigger in some cases.
I think most likely this is going to be just a 99 and a way to fetch it up to just have a alpha strike on someone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the one I'm thinking about is the one that came out of War of the Spark, and it's the 6-cost flyer.
Rolex.
That whenever it enters the battlefield, Rolex. That's what you would put it in.
Yeah.
You would put this in the 99 of Rolex.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't even know what that
keep
is.
time. You keep time with it. That's what you do.
Is that what it is? Okay. I think this is a good card.
I'll tell you what Rolex is.
Yeah. No, it's a.
I actually used it in one of our. I actually used it in one.
Is that its actual name? Is Rolex?
Yeah, it is.
Rolex Apex Hybrid.
Yeah, with the change. With the change,
Sorry, it's a 5-cost flying trample. When it enters the battlefield, to put 2+1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. When it dies, proliferate, then proliferate again.
Mm-hmm.
So you would put Quandrix in the 99, or you put this in the 99 of Quandrix.
Mm-hmm. And with the changes to Commander, the way that the Commander dies,
this guy. Okay.
it actually works
trigger.
now. Yeah, you get the death trigger.
Yeah.
It just you choose whether it stays in the graveyard or goes to the command zone.
An episode of Along Came a Commander. It didn't do too well, but then I played it
I
again
remember
off
this.
camera, and it did fantastically.
Yeah. Okay, I remember this. Yeah.
Right.
That guy's good. I'm
All
for
right.
it.
Yeah, I think this is a 99 most
keeping
likely.
I do like dragons, so
All right.
You could put this in the command zone, or you could put this in the command zone, though.
I think at a 5 cost, that's not too bad. All right, so Quandrix Command is 1 blue green. It's an instant spell. You get to choose 2 here. So return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. That's annoying. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. There's a counter for you. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Target creature shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. In standard, I feel like this is really good, especially with the amount of mill we have right now going on. Being able to put 3 solid cards in your deck that can help you win the game is awesome. I think if you were able to draw a card after that, that would be even better. Being able to counter an artifact or enchantment, like you said, Joe, earlier, having a counter somewhere, this is kind of situational.
That's okay.
It's okay, but it's annoying.
Okay.
I know that.
It's better,
and bouncing a
it's
creature is
better
good.
than most of them. Yeah, so bouncing a creature or planeswalker, that is huge.
Especially a planeswalker right now with the planeswalkers we have in standard.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
jeez. What's his name? The dual guy, the trickster dude. What's his name?
Yeah. You're talking about.
God, he sucks in every other set except this one. Why can't I think of his name? The devil guy. You know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're
Tybalt?
talking about.
Tibble's trickery. There we go.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
Tybalt
good.
is ridiculous in standard, dude.
Yeah.
So
He's
here's
gross.
the thing: you guys saying that it's not as good, I'll admit, but I put this just under Witherbloom Command because
I think so too.
there's things you can do with it, like you can return target planeswalker early turn. You could return target planeswalker to its owner's hand, and then you can shuffle in your counters
At
or your
instant
bounce
speed.
spells.
Yeah.
Yes, at instant speed.
The
You
other
can-
ones
you
are
can shuffle
sorcery.
in. So, like, let's
Yeah.
say you have 4 of commands in your deck, and you've already burned one. Well, then you can just shuffle that command and any other ones in your deck. So you're constantly refilling. This is exactly what you need in a control
Simic
deck
is
in standard.
gross.
Yes, it
Simic
is.
is
I don't know why
gross.
they keep doing this.
I don't know why this is instant and the others are sorcery. It's so gross.
No, the red blue one. So this is what I'm talking about, though. Red blue should be able to counter this spell. Like you play your command, I'm gonna play my command, which counters target.
But here's the
non-creature
thing.
spell. Boom.
But it
Thematically, going by the college, this is the College of Numeromancy. They crunch the numbers, dude. They
Yeah.
crunch the numbers and figure out how to counter that card.
Oh, you didn't know that, Joe? You didn't know that?
You didn't-
This is the best one as far as instant wise, but as far as value wise, it's close to Witherbloom, but it doesn't quite get there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the ability to bounce a Planeswalker. We've seen how expensive they are, especially with Lily. That Tybalt one is like a 7 cost, I think.
Yeah.
They're pretty pricey. Commanders are pretty pricey, and there are some commanders in this set. I think Luca's gonna be in this set also, along with Lily, and I don't remember who else. I think there's
Laurier
one more.
keeps on bringing up Corpse Jack.
It's an old card from our end. Combining
So
Corpse
Laurier,
Jack
Corpse Jack
Menace,
Menace's Golgari colors though.
what's its power?
So you'd have to
Colors
be
that would
in.
double those. You'd have to
be
run
in
4 colors,
Sultai.
3 colors.
No,
All right.
3
Okay.
colors. You'd have to be in
3
Sultai.
colors. Thank
All
you,
right.
thank you, Lori. I appreciate it.
All right. So
Would you play this in Commander though?
Yes, hell yeah, I would.
No.
It bounces planeswalkers. Yes.
Simic
Bounces
has some-
Planeswalkers. It's
Simic has
counters?
has way better cards than this for Commander, I feel, and it's it's
Not
fringe.
utility wise. Not utility wise. The Simic the Simic charm gives your stuff hexproof. I'll give it that. And it bounces a creature only. But outside of that, this does what Simic charm does, just a little bit better, in my opinion.
really.
I don't play
Yeah.
Simic Charm though. It's they're like
Well,
you mostly
this is
lean
better,
into
so
the
You don't have to play it.
you lean into the blue as much as you possibly can with Simic is the way I play it. and
You're
then just-
countering an enchantment spell, so because
you're blue.
you're not really countering mana rocks with this. You're either countering a Bolus
can.
Citadel, or you're countering a stupid enchantment like Elspeth Conquers Death. You're
Wow.
returning a planeswalker. Let's say somebody plays their Professor Onyx and they start to go off with their sword
No.
spell. You're like, no,
It
no,
costs so much.
no. In
You know
response-
what? You know what has a
How
lot of
dare you.
flexibility? Counterspell. That has a lot of flexibility.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were setting it up for my mom. I was about to hit the button.
No.
jeez.
Void
I mean,
Slime.
counterspell.
Void Slime is
Okay. Void Slime does not allow you to return a creature in addition to countering the spell. It only counters a spell or a triggered ability.
I
That's
don't
it.
care. I don't care about all that though. I have
Yeah,
specific
you
cards
will
for
in
that.
Commander
You're
game.
comparing apples to oranges, though.
I know,
And I get what
it's
you're
just-
saying.
That's
You
really
you would
what you're
push this
doing.
out of the 99
Yes,
for other cards,
this would
and I
be
get that.
fringe. This would be fringe.
But I would probably play it. I would
play it in the 99. In Simic 99, I would play it.
Because
Alright.
for me, I like to play. I don't want to just play blue cards. I don't just want to play green cards. I like to have multicolor cards in my deck. I just feel like it makes more sense based off the mana base that I'm going to have. I don't want to get stuck not being able to play something because I get fucking mana screwed, which happens to me all the time. So, and I get it. Counterspell's what, two blue?
Yeah.
You probably have 2 blue available to you.
Or Arcane
But if you
Now.
want to play,
Yeah.
if you want to play your game, you want to play your deck, you need to also spend those manas to do other things. So you're not
Yeah.
just sitting back holding back all your mana to counter things.
No.
You also need to play cards, and you might not have 2 blue. You might have 1 blue and 1 green and 1 something else. You know what I mean? So I think that this makes sense. I don't know. I like it. It
Bro,
is
in Simic,
situational,
this is
but I like
doing
it.
everything you want it to do. It's even protecting a
Me
creature
too,
or
Mike.
planeswalker
Me
you
too.
control.
Yeah.
Did you ever think of that?
Yeah.
It's bouncing something that you don't want to get hit.
Okay,
with a
we're gonna
board.
argue about this all the time, and we haven't even gotten to the commander
I'm
cards.
just saying, like,
so.
That's fine. Let's
it's
do it. We
way
got time.
better than you think it is. Than you're giving it credit for.
No, I think
That's
it's
fine.
good.
We don't have to agree on it.
I think with all the history of like Simic cards, I think it's okay. I just think
What do you
it gets
think, Mike?
beat out.
Yay or nay?
I think it gets beat out by a lot of cards. That's all I'm saying.
I still think Witherbloom command in this specific cycle of commands, Witherbloom is still in shenanigans.
Mike says yay. He counts as 3 votes, so he
Oh my
wins.
Yeah.
God.
Alright, let's move on.
All right,
move
I got
on.
shut
What's
down.
next?
Um,
He just dunked all over you.
yeah, he did a crossover.
All right.
Here's
Ooh,
the
Fracture.
companion spell. Here's the companion spell. I did it.
I
in blue.
love this. Okay, so Fracture is a blue-white instant card. Destroy
No, it's
target
white,
artifact.
black.
I'm sorry, my bad. White-black. Instant card. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Your defiance is amazing, little mage. It's time you learn how fragile you really are. Extasnar. I like it. This is a good card, dude.
Stupid good. It's better than D-Spark.
Yeah,
In a lot of ways.
Oh, hold on. Let me look at D-Spark real quick. So I forgot what
D-Spark
D-Spark
is
does.
exile target permanent
4
with mana
cost or
4
higher?
or more.
yeah. This is just flat out better. There's no conditions on
This
it.
is better. This is better.
It hits more stuff. If you had to choose between,
it doesn't do
Fracture-
creatures.
Everything-
It doesn't
hits
do
everything
creatures
that
though.
You want it to hit though.
Yeah,
Well, a D-Spark. Okay, D-Spark can only hit 4 or greater. This is unconditional outside of creatures. This
So
is
it's conditional
just
still.
basically hit
There's
I
conditions,
honestly-
is what you're
I
saying.
honestly think it should have said destroy target non-creature permanent. Like
They should have said it would have made more
yeah,
sense.
It would have been. a
I
lot
get it. I
more
get it,
sense.
but I don't.
I think run both.
I feel like they're 2 different things. I think they're 2 different things.
No, you're
honestly.
right. I think it's this cycle or this set's D-Spark.
D-Spark, yeah, for sure. There are things that you can get rid of creatures spells
Yeah.
for 1 in black now. Yeah, you got to pay some life, but you can do it.
Just
for
play your
1.
bullshit that makes everything else -1, and you just keep adding that stuff up. It doesn't matter at a point. They're not going to be able to keep anything on the board.
But this
Yeah.
card I like a lot because guess what it does? It gives black another destroy target enchantment because it's really hard to destroy
Targeted
enchantments in black.
removal.
Well, it gets
I
into
love
a
it.
pie, so that's why it's able to do it
Back.
easily. So
Just like the picture.
yeah, all right,
I like it.
yeah, all right. Going on to, and these are all out of order. They're not in any school or anything like that. So here we go.
Did we cover all? We didn't even cover all the 5 schools. We didn't do Lorehold.
I wasn't able to get them in order, dude.
Oh, okay. So they're in here somewhere. Oh, well, this is a Lorehold card here. College of Archaeomancy. I don't know what that means, but Lorehold Command is a 3.
I can go with the dragon first. Here.
You're going to go to the dragon? Okay, do the
There
dragon.
we go.
So again, Lorehold is the College of Archaeomancy. Velomachus, Lorehold. 5 red, white. Dude, geez, 7. Legendary creature, Elder Dragon. It's a 5/5 for 7. Let's see why it's so good.
Keyword soup, sir.
Keyword soup. So you get flying, vigilance, and haste. Hello, I like haste. Especially when paying 7 for it.
Yeah.
Whenever Velomachus Lorehold attacks, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value less than or equal to Velomachus Lorehold's power from among them without paying its mana cost. Plus, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
That's why he's 7.
That's why he costs 7, because you get to play a spell for free whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. Hold on. When he attacks. So every time he attacks, you get to play a spell for free.
Yeah,
from the
for
top
5
of your
or
deck.
less.
An instant or sorcery spell, sorry.
Wait,
that's ridiculous.
7 mana value?
Joe, you're on
yeah. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laurier, he lets you cast a sorcery or instant
Sorry,
speed. There you go.
Yes,
when he
and
attacks.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's not just for 5, it's for more if you buff them.
Exactly. It's whatever his attack and defense is. So that's ridiculous. If you're already at 7 mana, you probably have some kind of buff anthems out there, like Chris was mentioning earlier. This guy's probably a 6 or 7 at that point.
You put hammer
That's
on
ridiculous.
him. You put hammer on him.
Oh my god, Colossal Hammer.
Yes.
And he's a 15/15. You can play it whatever you want.
My problem with it is it's in Boros, which is really limiting. If you put him as the commander, it's really limiting. However, if you were to put him in
I will
say,
counter
a
him
5
instantly.
color, if you were to put him in a 5, it's still, I'm not saying Boros is like the worst thing to have him in. Even if he's just in a Boros deck and you swing with him, you could play like one-sided board wipes off that top 7, right? Let's say you use Austere Command to destroy everything with mana cost 3 or less. Then you don't have to worry about weenies blocking your dude here. So
yeah, and he has flying, so it's probably going to be tough for them to block anyways.
Yeah,
and
he has vigilance.
You could do another
stays
spell
in attack mode.
off the top of your library, like the one that there's a red spell that comes in the precons that's dope. We're not going to talk about that right now. That you could do with this, but there's a lot of good shit you could do even within the colors. But outside of that, you could do even more with blue or black or green.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're looking at red here, you have Dragon's Wrath. What is the one that does 4 damage across the board? You're probably wiping your opponent's board. Storm's Wrath, 4 damage across the board to Planeswalkers as well. That's a board wipe right off the top deck there, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing Boros, you probably got some buffy boys already.
There you go. There you
Ruinous
go.
Ultimatum.
Laurier's got the right idea. Laurier's got the right idea.
Dude, that won me a game in a commander game, and along came a commander.
Yeah, he stole it from me, jerk. That was just the best pull. That was the only reason you won that game. But you know what? The deck did what it was supposed to do, and you won the game. So there you go.
Thanks for helping me.
So
you're welcome. I do what I can. You know, it really gets my dick hard helping
as
out my
commander
friends.
or in the 99. Realistically, because let's say you have those other cards that we mentioned before, those red or white cards, like Brass's Bounty.
Oh my god!
You get to add, let's say you paid the 7 outright. You get to add and you pull that off your top 7 when you're attacking with it, well, you get to add another 7 treasures so you can do more shit. So
Yeah. Yep. And if it's me and I'm playing white, I'm probably gonna ramp my brains out before I even get the turn 4. So
You play him on turn 5.
I'll play him on turn 5.
Man.
But yeah, I like this card. I think it's good. It's a little pricey. I don't know how. I mean, there's ways to get them out in standard really quick. So this is gonna be pretty good.
from what I've heard, Lorehold has some of the better selection of cards in standard.
I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I need to go pre-order this commander deck too because there's some good shit in it.
Yeah.
Oh, the red white one. Yes, we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
I need to
All
get that.
All right. Here we go with the
moving on
next
up.
one.
Okay.
The command.
Lorehold Command.
Lorehold Command. So 3 red white. So 5 total instant. Here's an instant one. Choose 2. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. I like that. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible and haste until end of turn. I like that too. Lorehold Command deals 3 damage to any target. Target player gains 3 life. Sacrifice a permanent, then draw 2 cards. I like all of those things.
See you later, Laurier.
I don't. Later, Laurier. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Thanks, man. For
Hell
helping
yeah,
out,
Mike.
too.
Good luck, Laurier.
Mike got pre-ordered the architect or the artifact commander.
Yeah,
so
really?
that's
we kind of knew
awesome.
that was going to happen.
Yeah. But I don't know. The 5 cost is a little steep for me. I feel like, I don't know about you guys. I feel like that's a little pricey in standard for red white.
I don't know. Creatures you control get +1 and gain indestructible and haste until end of turn. That's pretty busted.
That is good. That's
It's
good.
pricey. It's unfortunately it's a little too pricey for what it does.
Yeah.
And I think in standard it's not going to be as hot as everybody wants it to be.
I think in Commander, this is good. This is really good in
Commander's
Commander.
decent. Yeah, Commander it's decent. The fact that it gives your creatures indestructible is the big sell right there.
And card draw.
And card draw. I forgot about card draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I know with Boros, you're probably throwing out a bunch of weenies, soldier tokens, sacrificing one of them to draw 2 cards to get more buff spells. Totally worth it.
Yep.
But at 5 cost, that's a lot.
I mean, it's an instant.
That's a
You
lot.
can
I
do
feel
it.
like you.
You could do it in mid attack. So
True, that is true. But I feel like it's expensive, man. It's expensive to do the things that it's doing.
It's just I feel like it's just too expensive for what you want it to do.
And it could be a finishing card. I mean, it does 3 damage to any target. That can be your opponent's life. And then target player gains 3 life. So I can do 3 damage to you and I gain 3 life. On the crackback, maybe I needed that 3 life.
Yeah.
I don't know. But overall, it's good. I don't know if it's great. It's definitely not one of the stronger command cards. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
It
I'll
might be one
figure
of
it
the
out on
stronger
Arena.
command cards because of the indestructible aspect, right?
Yeah.
Mid to late game, that 5 for everything becoming indestructible is really relevant.
and if you're running a
That's
token deck,
true.
that's insane.
In standard, I don't see it being that great.
Yeah, I don't think it's standard.
Just because of how much
this
it's
is
going to cost.
this is not good in standard. Let's be honest. In Commander though, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Anything in Boros that's not Boros Charm that makes everything indestructible that's instant speed is good.
Yeah. And you get to draw a card at worst. And
You
I
draw
don't
2
think,
cards.
Yeah,
not
2
just one,
cards.
2.
I think the other ones, I don't think you're going to be doing them. I think it's just going to be
And it says-
indestructible and card draw. That's it. That's all
It
you're going
says
to be doing.
sacrifice a permanent, so it doesn't have to be a creature.
Mhm.
It could be a land at that point, right?
Yeah. You don't want to do
So
that in
there-
Boros though.
You don't want to do that. No, I'm sure. But I mean, in Commander, sometimes you're mana flooded like me.
Treasure
You
token.
might not need that land. Treasure token. There, you can just have crap out there you don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Sack it and draw 2 cards. You'll probably draw another land anyways if you're me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it. I'm not, doing flips over it either. So it's not.
All
It's
right.
me. It's middle of the road.
All right.
A little bit under, I think. I give it a 4 out of 10.
All right. Fair enough.
Ooh, Lorehold
This card.
Excavation,
This card
red
is so
white
good.
enchantment. All right, let's look at this enchantment because I like enchantments. At the beginning of your end step, mill a card. If a land card was milled this way, you gain 1 life. Otherwise, Lorehold Excavation deals 1 damage to each opponent. To mill a card, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. You can pay 5 to exile a creature card from your graveyard to create a tapped 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. You know when you do that ability at the end of your opponent's turn, so that creature's not tapped anymore.
Yep.
I like that for 2. I don't. Bad thing is I don't like milling my cards. I hate milling my cards if I don't have a way to bring them back. Paying 5 to get a 3/2 creature when I just milled something that probably would have won me the game.
Yeah, I think
I'm not a fan of that.
If it said if it was a land, you put it onto the battlefield or you put it into your hand, that would be good. Otherwise, it just stays there. That I would like that. That would be really
that
good.
was the miss. Is mill a land, put the land into your hand, because that's what red white desperately needs.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I will say though, there are ways to abuse this since this is a red source. You have what's his name? What's the guy? The dwarf.
Torolf.
We have Torolf also.
And Torbrand.
Torbrand. You have Fiery Emancipation. You have all kinds of ways to double, triple, increase that 1 damage from 1 to 3 to whatever.
Each turn, basically.
Each turn,
each step, it becomes a bolt.
Yeah.
So I can see the benefit of it. Again, not a fan of milling my own cards.
So where this is useful is in the red and white artifact deck. It has a lot of ways to bring artifacts back from your graveyard.
Yeah,
there you go.
In that new commander deck. There's also other red and white artifact-centric decks that could use this, and there's a spell called Open the Vaults that has everybody bring back their artifacts and enchantments from their graveyards. So you put this down early turns, not only are you dealing damage, but you're setting up for a huge Open the Vaults.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I like it. I definitely like it. The only downside is the things that y'all mentioned, and I hate milling my own cards, but I understand the purpose of it and getting those little pings in here and there for doing absolutely nothing and not costing anything. It
good.
Adds up. It really does add up.
Yeah, I think the gaining 1 life was kind of just not. It was so unnecessary in this card. Honestly, it was just like, hey, it's white. Let's throw a life gain on there. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
I think also there's ways to. There's cards right now that can really screw you over.
Yeah.
Or that add up to these little ping damage. So you have Lorehold Excavation that deals a damage at the beginning of the turn if you mill a creature or a non-land card. And then you have that other, what is it? It's another enchantment that's in red. It looks like a mountain, I think, that does a damage to each person. Is that what it is? That does a damage each turn to each person? So you constantly have that. You have basically you can do 2 damage to the 1 damage, and you're kind of on a clock at that point.
Yeah.
10 turns, and you just got to survive, and you can gain a life also from Lorehold Excavation. So you're not really doing anything. You put some life gain out there just as chump blockers, and you'll probably be okay. Throw some Snowlands and use Search for Glory to gain 3 life for searching. Revitalize. Why not, man? Go to town.
All right.
Commander, though, I don't know about it.
I added it in there in the selection because there's a lot of other good ones that I could have picked, but this one I liked it the most because it gives Boros another option.
Yeah.
And that's important, is because you need those color combinations.
Those tokens.
Yeah, there you go.
Double the tokens
with the Anointed Procession.
It's expensive, but let's do it.
Let's say, Rob, the creature that you're exiling is something as silly as like a Dockside Extortionist that you already used, like Mike was mentioning in chat. Like once that Dockside Extortionist hits, that's it. You don't have to do anything more with him. He goes to the graveyard, then boom, you can make a 3/2 out of him. Or those goblins.
Can make a rope out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right. Do we still have a lot more cards? Because we're like at an hour and a half already.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay,
6.
Double Major was the Quandrix companion spell.
I wasn't able to put everything in order, so just
that's fine.
That's
we'll
okay.
do it.
No,
Double Major is a blue-green instant spell. Copy target spell. Copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't legendary. If the spell is legendary, a copy of a creature spell becomes a token.
All right, this is a good one.
So
you're
this
casting,
is so gross.
Let's say you're casting that Dockside Extortionist, and you just so happen to have an extra blue and green laying around. Well, you get 2 Dockside Extortionists. But wait, there's more. Let's say you have a way to double the amount of tokens that come into play, like a
Doubling season? Because
yes,
it's green?
like a doubling season. Or what's the other one? Paradox Lives, or that other the green version of Anointed. Yeah, Parallel Lives. Boom. And
Dude.
if it's a legendary, it's your commander. It's Quandrix. Guess what, Quandrix? We get a 2-for, boys.
We get 2 wow.
Okay. And then
This
you're
is
sitting
gross.
there, you're trying to calculate how many tokens you should have and how many treasure tokens you should have. It's going to be a nightmare.
Hey, Quandrix is the college of numeromancy, okay?
Oh,
You got to be able to do that math, dude.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is not only good in Simic, but this is really stupid good in the other color pairings that go right along with it, like Sultai, blue, black, green, and in Teamer, red, blue, green, where you really want to be casting some of those higher end spells.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this is so good.
Anytime
This
you
is
can
a good card.
copy a creature spell and make it non-legendary, decks get broken on that. So this is always going to be good. Like no one's going to turn this down.
legendary that you wish that wasn't a legendary that you could just make a copy of so you can abuse that?
Hell,
further
all
with
of them
clones?
practically.
Yeah.
There you go.
Veto would be great, but I mean that doesn't make sense in this color scheme.
No,
but
you
there's
want-
stuff. There's
You want
stuff.
stuff like Krark.
I think
You
Veto's
want
the
stuff
worst
from
one to do.
Commander Legends.
Hey,
like
that's double the
Krark
damage,
with
dude.
Thumbless.
Oh,
You want stuff
yeah.
that'll give
Well, I was
you
thinking
added
standard.
value.
Coma.
Coma
Coma?
would be
You want Coma?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this
All
was
right.
specifically made for Coma.
Yeah. Yeah.
In mind, this is a good card. It's gross. I don't think blue green needed that.
I think
That's
I
so
think
good.
I think blue green was suffering, and I for one stand with it.
Yeah, you're for it. Coma is so good. I know, right, Mike? It's ridiculous,
This is
dude.
Coma Brawl all over it, dude.
Right?
This is
That's
Coma
definitely
Chameleon.
winning a Coma deck. Coma. Oh my
Coma
god!
Chameleon.
Shut
All right,
up. But I'm
going
for
on
it.
to the next one.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
so good. I'm mad I didn't think about it.
Okay, this is
Ooh,
the rare
okay.
land cycle.
Vine Glimmer Snarl. As Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield, you reveal a forest or land or island card from your hand. If you don't, it comes into the battlefield tapped. Add a blue or green.
That's good.
So they had these 3 sets ago, and
Yeah.
they're
Did they?
just completing the cycle. They're completing the cycle. They're bringing it around, so they have 5 choices now. So you now have 10 versions of these.
I don't
What set
remember
was
this.
this in?
Yeah, what set was this?
This was before I started collecting
This
them.
is
Was
before
this?
you guys got into standard.
So this is
Okay,
more than
then it
5
wasn't
sets
3
ago.
This is
Yeah,
more than- this is more
yeah,
than
we're
3
like
sets ago.
8 sets in already.
This is Avacyn.
Oh,
the
Dude, that's like
the
Yeah.
second time we visited Innistrad.
this is 11 sets ago, dude.
Mike,
So
that's gross,
this is,
but I love it.
yeah,
I love that idea.
This is the same set where Avacyn goes crazy. They have these
Wow,
ones.
crazy
I-
Avacyn. this
Mike,
set.
I think
Love
you're
it.
misspoking. It's supposed to be beautiful. That's what you meant, right? Yeah, I think that's what you meant.
It's gross in a good way.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. These lands are cool. I mean, people know that you're gonna have mana, so who cares? They know that you're gonna have lands. Show them off. Come in untapped.
All right.
I'm for it.
This is just another option.
Closing statement. So 3 white black instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast during your end step. So destroy target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. I love destroying my opponent's creatures on my turn.
He does. He really does. I was telling somebody.
I know that
Rob. Sorry.
I like to do that on my turn because they're probably tapped out. I'm not going to give them the opportunity on their upkeep to free up some mana to counter my shit. I'll just destroy your thing, especially if they have something that triggers during their upkeep. I'm definitely going to destroy it on my turn. And I don't mind paying 4 to, or what would it be? 3 at that point?
3.
Yeah.
3
So
to
here's
destroy
the-
something.
Here's the great thing about it is your opponent's always going to want to flash those creatures in at the beginning of your end step, right? So you pass priority to them during your end step, and they go, all right, well, before your end step or before before the end, boom, flash this in. You go, oh, actually, I have something, and then you destroy that new thing that they brought out.
And I
on.
get a 1/1 counter on something.
Hold on. Before you finish, let me finish what I was doing.
Yeah,
Instead.
exactly.
I'll let you
Instead of in
let-
conclusion, it should have been, I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish. Beyonce had the best flash creature,
Dude,
so
this is
I
just-
like this
Super
card.
good This is even better in Commander, honestly.
Yeah.
When people are going nuts with flashing things at the end of your turn before they get going, you're just like, nah, sorry, fam.
You
The
ain't
best
doing
part
that
of
combo
it-
piece.
I think adding the cat, adding what's
What's up,
up, EBC BVD? What's up? I think having the ability to destroy a planeswalker is amazing.
Yeah.
There's not very many planeswalker removals that are cost less than 4, and
Yeah.
being able to pay 3 to destroy a planeswalker is awesome. So, and that's
Dude,
just in standard. I don't. There's probably stuff in Commander that can do it easier, but in standard, it's kind of tough to pay less than
People
4.
would even pay the full price for this.
Yeah.
Late game in standard, they would even pay the 5 for it.
This
Yeah.
is like
target planeswalker.
this is like a lesser
sure.
Anguished Unmaking, but Anguished Unmaking is still better.
Oh yeah, because it exiles.
Yeah. So, but this is fine. This is I like this for Commander. This is good. Good.
For
Good.
sure.
Good.
Hell
Right.
yeah, I'm for it. Black
All
and
right.
white, the beauty,
Are
the
we-
eloquence there.
Okay.
Reconstruct history. Go ahead. Or
So you read it.
okay, Reconstruct history is a 2 red white sorcery card that says return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target enchantment card, up to 1 target instant card, up to 1 target sorcery card, and up to 1 target planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Reconstruct history. So you remember that card we were talking about that mills the top card of your deck? This helps you get all those cards you milled back into your hand.
Yeah. It's just,
It's
I wish
at
it put it
sorcery
into.
speed, however.
I wish it put it on the
sorcery
battlefield.
speed.
If it put it into the battlefield, it would just be.
I think it would
broken.
cost
No.
more. It
Yeah.
would cost way.
Cost a
It would
whole
cost
more.
more. It'd be like Dance of the Manse. That's probably what 6 cost or 7 or something like that.
I would be fine with that. Dance of the Manse is 2 and X. You choose up to whatever.
Okay,
But,
but
if
to
it's
get it
4
into
or
the
more, yeah,
it becomes
if
a
it's 4
creature.
or more, they become creatures. They become
Yeah.
4/4 creatures.
I'm fine with that.
So yeah, I
But you're
like
still
it.
paying 6 for that upside. This way, you're paying 4 to get them all back in your hand. Something that Boros doesn't have, and this is what I was talking about earlier. That Boros needs. It needs cards like that.
All right.
Yeah, because if you're running like aggro Boros stuff in standard right now, you're probably running things that buff your cards when they attack or something like that. Being able to return some of those instants back to your hand, return Anthem cards that buff your creatures back to your hand that because they got destroyed or something like that. This is really good to help you get back. Because most of the time with aggro, once you're board wiped or your stuff's destroyed that helps you get big, you're kind of screwed at that point.
Yeah.
Being able to refill your hand with those cards is super beneficial, I feel like. So in standard, I think this is good. It's probably like a 2 or 3 of in a deck. Because I don't think you want to put 4 in there. I think that's too many.
Well, I mean, you have experience playing standard, and what's the most popular archetype that's going around right now? It's Rogue Mill.
That's Rogue Mill. So yeah, being able to
Yes,
return
so
stuff is
this
great.
Just automatically kind of like pushes Rogue Mill back a little bit.
The
especially in
downside
these
about
combos.
the downside to that though is your deck is still getting thinned out and
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
your
getting
deck
milled.
is still getting thinned out, but you're getting back stuff. So let's say they mill it, and you're like, okay, well, instead of me having to wait to draw these cards, I'll just get them right now.
yeah.
They
For
expend
sure.
their resources milling them. You just
help me out.
You trade. You basically you're doing a 5-for-1 on the opponent. You're getting
yeah.
5 things back for 1 card, while they're expending 2 to 3 cards at a time to do this.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm for it though.
Yeah, I think it's an okay card. I wish it
Yeah.
cost a little bit more and just put it on
It's
the
an auto
battlefield.
include in Boros commander decks though, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
agree.
because Boros is kind of weak on this, like really bad. For any
Yeah,
other
that's-
color though,
This
this
makes
is
it a little stronger though.
for any other color though, other color combination. This is like
Oh
trash tier. Like honestly,
yeah. But I mean
The ability to get back 1 or all is still pretty good, even in the other colors.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they would be like put it into the battlefield. That's the only other
Maybe.
thing.
maybe. I don't know.
Moving on. All right. Another one for lore hold.
Radiant
Or-
Scroll Wielder.
Yeah, roll or hold.
2 red white creature dwarf cleric, and it's a 2/4. So instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If a spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. So all those bolts you were doing, they're going to do 2 damage to your opponent. You gain 2 life, and then you can play it from your graveyard
Mm-hmm.
and do it again.
So,
That's 4 damage to them and 4 life to you.
if you remember, there was a commander deck that I put together last Tuesday on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
This does what Fire Song and Sunspeaker do for 2 less.
Oh, wow.
And it exiles an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard and lets you reuse it. So all those spells that I was packing in there that was dealing damage to everybody that you could gain life off of,
you do it
this
again.
does that just better. Like in Standard right now, you can have this, and if you have a Storm's Wrath in your graveyard, you exile it, you play it. That's 4 damage to each creature, and you're gaining 4 life off of each of those creatures that you're dealing damage to. That are on the board.
You kill this, but
you kill it, but you're still Storm's Wrathing and gaining up to 20 life if 5 creatures are out on the board.
Yeah, that's redundant.
By that point, there will be 5 creatures on the board.
For Boros, you kind of fall behind sometimes because you're either nailing it by being super aggressive or you're just sucking at your draws and falling behind. Like I said, a board wipe can set you behind, but a board wipe that gives you life gain that keeps you from dying, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That's why I included this one, because it highlights so much of what I want Boros to do for cheaper.
All right.
Gotcha.
Next one.
Baleful Mastery. So 3 and a black instant. I love black. I love swamps, so that's my favorite. You may pay 1 and a black rather than pay the spell's mana cost. If the 1 black cost was paid, an opponent draws a card. Exile target creature or planeswalker.
This is a new staple for removal in Standard.
Oh my god!
I don't care that you're giving them a card to draw. You're exiling. You're not destroying. You're exiling.
Exactly.
Upside, immediate upside.
Yes, that's ridiculous. Because just destroying something is not good enough anymore. There's ways to bring big boys back. Like I said, if you're doing Blood on the Snow, you can bring back a planeswalker from the graveyard. You can bring back a creature up to 6 cost. That is. And most planeswalkers or big boys are probably 6 or less, and you're getting them right back onto the board. That's what I do with Vorinclex. Vorinclex is a 6 cost. I bring them right back. So this is amazing. I love this card. I hope I get a bunch of them.
Even looking at the hard casting cost of this, even looking at it, you have E2 Extinction, which is a sorcery that costs the same that exiles.
Yeah.
You have this now. This is an option that can cost up to 2 less now. And it exiles, which is stupid good because all the other 2 mana cost destruction spells are just that. They destroy, they don't exile. You also had Vraska's Contempt, which exiled at 4 mana cost. This still does better than that.
And you gain 2 life from that one. This card, I think, replaces E2 Extinction because hard. Yeah, for real. If you just completely hate giving your opponent the draw, then maybe you keep E2 Extinction and you keep running that. But I'll pay 2, and now I have 2 mana to do something else with. Yep. I can destroy something with a Heartless Act or something like that. You know what I mean?
Let's say they Tybalt's Trickery into Tybalt, and you're on turn 2 or 3. You have 2 mana open. You're like, cool, you can draw your big-ass ultimatum spell now. I'm just going to get rid of your Tybalt. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this is a good card. This is a really good card. And I don't think Tybalt's Trickery is that big of a deal in Standard because people beat it all the time.
There are more tools now to deal with it.
Yeah, everyone figured out how to beat it. It's not...
It wasn't 100% win rate before. It was like 40%. That's not good.
It was just frustrated people. It's deflating to see fucking word clicks come out or get that ultimatum that just hits and then you're like, what the hell just happened? It's only turn 2. Like, what the fuck? So
now, on turn 2, you have an option.
Exactly. And there's options currently. The thing is, you just have to be prepared for that. And I think even if you're not having Baleful Mastery in your deck is going to be beneficial 100% of the time.
This is a solid knockout card.
Hey, in Underworld Dreams, you exile something and you deal them a damage for drawing that card. Just throwing that out there.
Hell yeah.
All right. So this is it for the main set that we wanted to show everyone. We may show some more at some point, but this is just the main set. We're going to go into the Commander precons, the stuff that's been spoiled so far.
I wanted to get your opinion and Rob's opinion. No, we can do it right now. We still have time.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on main set. Like, what really sticks out to you guys? It could be out of the cards that we spoiled or out of other cards that you've seen.
Better interaction.
That have been spoiled.
I think it's better interaction overall. I don't think there's something that's like, oh my god, that if that goes unchecked, it's going to just win the game. I think it just has more interaction and brings the power level down a little bit of what standard is, and puts it more in line with just a regular card game. So,
yeah, I think from the main set itself, you can probably tell how excited I was getting about some of these cards because it was like, oh, Robert's posting shit in the news and update shit again,
and he never does that.
and I never do that. So there's one card that I'm super excited about called Demogoth Titan. It's a demon card that's in an 11/10 and it costs 4 black or 4 green. So whenever Demogoth Titan attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature. Me personally, I run a sacrifice deck that I love to run with scorpions. That whenever they die, they deal 2 damage to your opponent, and you gain 2 life. So now that I have a green, I can do a modified version of this deck where I run those scorpions. I run the cleric that I was telling you about that creates tokens whenever it comes into the field from the graveyard. So I can use that 3 cost to bring those weenies back, create a 5/5, get my scorpions back after doing that damage. And then also I do the Bastion of Remembrance. I think that's the one that does a damage whenever your creatures die. So now I can throw Garruk's Uprising in there. This 11/10 just got Trample, and when it came into play, I drew a card. It's ridiculous, dude. This is so gross. I love it. I love this card. It's amazing. I'm for it. I'm excited about this. Just it's a normal card. It's a rare card. It's not legendary. I think it's going to be really good.
Rare. That's all it is. It's a $1 bin rare.
There's quite a few cards that I'm excited about, and I think a lot of the ones that I'm excited about are Golgari cards. I usually don't get excited about Golgari, but also there's some good black-white cards. You know, I love was that Orzhov? I love black-white just in general. Black and white are my 2 favorite colors. So I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff in this set, man. There's a reason why I'm buying a collector's box for this.
Dude, I just looked in the news and update for our Commander section. You posted 90% of the spoilers, and me and Joe posted the other 10%. You are
There's
super
a lot
excited.
of good stuff, dude. There's a lot of good stuff. Like, I'll read the card, I'm like, holy shit, that seems broken. What the fuck? It just is getting my standard deck juices flowing, man. It's a lot of good stuff there.
I like Crackle with Power. I think that's just going to be a ridiculous red card.
Which one's that one?
It's XXX red. Crackle with Power deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets.
So I didn't even get into
there you go.
the dual modal faced sorcery and creature spells that have an added benefit. They're kind of like a generic catch-all card.
Yeah.
For example, the Wandering Archaic and the Explore the Vastlands. They have their sorcery side, which is just a generic spell that each set has had before, but the difference is that you could just play it in any deck that you run. It doesn't have a specific color. Like Explore the Vastlands is a Cultivate, but for everybody else.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them that are like that are colorless. We didn't even specialize in that. The one that I really wanted to talk about was Strixhaven Stadium, which is
dude, I'm looking at it right now.
add a colorless, put a point counter on it. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from it. But then whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then, if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all, and that player loses the game. You can't actually... So, let's say I was able to just go infinite untaps and put all these point counters on, and then I decided to Alpha Strike, and each of my creatures were, unblockable, and I hit 3 players at the same time. Unfortunately, it would empty out all point counters, and then I would have to re-add them for each player that lost the game. So it's not all at one time. You can't do a table kill with this, but you can certainly take out one player at a time.
It's gross in standard.
Take out a Joe.
Yeah. Anything that doubles counters.
You're not removing 10 counters at a time. You're removing all
of them. I think in standard that's I'd like to see someone make a deck with that. I'm sure people have got their wheels turning already, and we're probably going to see it. Someone try to get some kind of win con. I think with Vorinclex you can get it going pretty easy, except Vorinclex is expensive. And you're probably taking some damage by the time you get there.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it might be a fun card. It's a cool way to win. It's kind of like that one guy that does the poison counters in standard right now. You're not going to win. It probably doesn't even have a 50%, 40% win rate getting those poison counters, but it's a fun way to win because it's different.
Dude, it goes fast all of a sudden. Like
yeah,
if they get
I
Yeah,
like
you
that
can find
deck.
yourself at 6 poison counters real quick.
on turn 4.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
So let's
I've
move
done
on
it
to
plenty of
the
times.
to the commander stuff. I just want to get y'all's takes on it because I've been looking at the set a little bit closer now that I've seen a lot of this stuff come up because I waited until spoiler season was over.
All right.
Okay, so
the main
Adrix and Nev twin casters is 2 blue, green legendary creature Merfolk wizard, and it's a 2/2. So it has ward 2. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that opponent pays 2. Gross. If
That's
one
a
or more
new-
tokens would be created under your control, twice that many tokens are created instead. I love it. I pre-ordered this one specifically for this card.
And
It's fantastic. It's the greatest card ever made.
ward is an evergreen terminology going forward. They may not be putting as much hexproof on stuff. They're going to put ward on stuff to make it a little bit more able to deal
It's
with.
an immediate upgrade, though. It's an
Yeah.
immediate upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to target my creature? Well, you got to pay 2 or else your spell's countered.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross. And it's for that specific creature. So
Yeah.
that's a great way to get your opponents to burn their mana. Being able to create tokens, twice that many tokens, that's gross. So there's
Hey,
cards
Rob,
that
wait, what?
yeah.
You mean tokens? Like, what do you mean, like replicating ring? You mean
Yeah, like
Skyclave
replicating
Relic?
ring, Skyclave Relic, creature tokens, fungus, plants, bugs, whatever you want to create. Birds, you're gonna create twice that many tokens. Get Doubling Season out there. Get Parallel Lives. You're gonna go ham. I mean, like Mike said earlier, Coma. Anybody copy that with that one Simic card that we were talking about earlier that didn't
Double
need even
major.
be made. Double major. Gross. So there you go. Adrix and Nev Twin Casters is amazing. It's strong. Pre-order it.
The other thing, you make them pay the ward cost, and then you blink it or exile it and bring it right back to the battlefield. They wasted 2 extra mana on something they couldn't do anyways.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying. But yeah,
If
that's
you
the
have
things I think
something,
of.
yeah.
That's what I think of at night. Is
That's
frustrating
very
people.
situational, but that's cool.
I like it.
I
right.
mean, it's a good, four mana, and you didn't do shit, potentially.
All right. Next card
I
in
love
the
that-
in
I
the
love this card, by the way.
same deck.
Okay. Perplexing Test is 3 blue. It's an instant card. Choose one. Return all creature tokens to their owner's hands. Fucking gross. Return all non-token creatures to their owner's hands. That's more like it. For 5, to their owner's hands.
Evacuation is the same thing, but it's all creatures. It's not conditional. This is very conditional. So if you're running a Simic tokens deck specifically, and everybody else isn't, they have tokens that they want to keep, or they have non-tokens that they want to keep, and they have tokens that they don't want to keep, then you can just be like, all right, I'll just return all non-token creatures. Now I have this massive board state. Everybody else has maybe 1 or 2 creatures that are creature tokens that aren't really doing more than what I'm doing.
Yep.
I mean,
Or the
think about the card we just talked about with this. I mean, there's a reason why it's in the same deck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Like
It's a
your
nice little
Coma
board
deck.
wipe. Yeah.
You have this in a
All
Coma
those
deck.
serpents. Yeah.
Yep.
Oops, all
Replication technique. Yeah. Replication technique is a 4 blue sorcery card that has demonstrate. When you cast this spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Players may choose new targets for their copies. Create a token that's a copy of a target permanent you control. So you get to create a token for 5, and then your opponents get to do that as well.
If you demonstrate.
So you get to copy. You get to create 2 tokens.
2 tokens.
You get
So
2
the reason
tokens, and your
why-
opponent gets to create 1.
The reason why I chose this one out of the other spells in the deck that have been spoiled so far it doesn't have been spoiled, period, is that there's a good chance, again, if you're running a tokens matters deck and everybody else isn't, there's a good chance that the token you're copying is better than anything anybody else can make, especially if you're doing it like early turns and you get set up super early. So you're making a double majored Coma token that's non-legendary, or a Spark
It's a
Double
target
token.
permanent, so it could be anything.
Could be a
Target
land.
permanent, yeah.
Yeah,
So like
that's
they
gross.
just have like a measly mana dork out, and you've got a badass enchantment, planeswalker, whatever. You're just like, cool. I'm gonna make a copy of that, and let's run.
Maybe copy my doubling season.
Or Cabal
2
Coffers.
copies. Cabal coffers.
Anything.
Like, yeah.
Target. It could be it could be a land. It could be anything. What's that Shrine of Nykthos or whatever?
Shrine
Yeah.
of Nykthos.
Shrine of Nykthos. How about that? I mean, there's all sorts of good stuff.
Catch me outside.
Jeez, that's gross. I love it.
Alright.
I'm for
Alright.
it.
Moving
I
on.
need some
I
more of
forget that
it.
it was top copy of target permanent. I didn't even.
Yeah, I just noticed it too.
This is
I was
just
really...
with creatures.
This is good
That's
with
pretty
anything.
Yeah. The downside is that your opponents get to do it to one of theirs.
One
but you
opponent.
get to pick that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Ooh,
to pick the opponent.
look at this.
It's your special good buddy.
Brina. Your special good buddy. Brina the Demagogue. 1 white black legendary creature. Bird Warlock. It's a 1/3 with flying. When a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card and you put 2/1/1 counters on a creature you control. What the fuck did that just say? Okay, when a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents,
Yep.
that attacking player draws a card and you put 2/1/1 counters on a creature you control. That's so confusing. I would never run it just because it sounds so confusing.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so here's
And
the
it's-
deal. Here's what you do is you target a player, you're in white and black, so it's really easy to make target player lose life. So you make a certain player lose life, that one player. Your other 2 opponents are going to automatically have more life, so they're always going to trigger your Brina, especially whenever it's in. Also, like you were saying before, there's ways to punish people for drawing cards, and there's stuff that stops people from drawing extra cards altogether. So
True.
you might as well just run that stuff. You can even pair this in blue and make sure you're running stuff
Blech.
like Narset.
Blech.
Or you can run Hull Breacher. Hull Breacher, come on!
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Hull
there you
Breacher.
go. Okay. All right. You convinced me with Hull Breacher.
Or Smothering Tithe. Yeah, sure, bro. Go ahead and draw those 2
God.
cards. Don't mind if I take those tokens, though.
Hell
There you go,
yeah, dude.
Smothering Tithe. This is a card to run because you're also putting 2/1/1/1 counters on a creature you control as well. So
Ugh,
there's
I love it.
upside to that.
Okay.
For
I like it.
for
It's
3
confusing
mana,
as shit.
This is stupid good, bro. Because you just hit somebody, or they get hit. Let's say you're playing the nice guy. This is a political card, and that's what I love
Yeah.
about it. It's completely political.
This is
So
a joke
while
card.
they're doing their political, while they're targeting the big arch enemy, you can play this deck and you'd be like, me, I'm just helping people draw cards. What am I doing?
I'm
my
helping
God.
people.
Here's
I'm
the only
helping you.
the only thing is it says and then that opponent, that attacking player draws a card and you put a +1/+1 counter on you put, but it's not for any time they draw a card. It just says attacking player draws a
for
card.
whenever they attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So it's once per attack. Yeah, for that person.
You can't put it on there for draw though. That's just for that one thing.
Yeah, it's just the attack.
I mean,
But also that's good because it prevents your opponents from drawing more cards. They get the one card and that's it.
I have a feeling people will just attack you with this card.
no.
I mean,
Why?
if
You
you don't,
don't-
you're not going to be the one with the lowest
You're
points.
gonna
And
have-
if they want that card, they're going to swing at the person with the lowest life.
Yeah, they want
Yeah.
that extra card, bro.
But you have all the. If you're playing these colors and you're doing these things, you're going to want to have taxing stuff in there. And people are going to see you as the arch enemy of the table and just attack you.
Probably. I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, it just depends on your the group. So mostly what you think right now, because you're probably going to attack this person because that's how you
But
play.
the reality of it is that if somebody else gains advantage, are you gonna want to stop the person that's helping you by drawing a card and putting? So like at worst, Brina's out. You get to put 2/1/1 counters on your 1/3. The opponent looks at that and they go, "Am I gonna want to worry about this guy who's helping me by drawing a card to get rid of this other player who's already 3 lands ahead and already has several more permanents than everybody else on the board put together, or am I gonna want to take out this Brina?" Like,
Okay.
Is this a?
Here's
I
the
get
thing
this
though.
as a commander. Is this a commander though? Is this really worth playing as a commander?
No.
I
don't
say yes because
Here's the
it's quick
thing,
to get out. It's
Joe.
easy to promote.
That's true.
You got done explaining the card saying it's easy to have one person lose life. It's easy to control who people attack. Yes,
Yeah.
I would kill the person who has that card, 100%. Even if they're giving me advantage for that one
that
turn.
Means you would die. So then you would die to the other player who's the real threat, though. So that forces threat.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Joe. The person that's controlling the life totals at will, they're the person that's probably going to win the game.
Well, that's the great thing about Brina. You don't even have to do that. You just have to be the person who doesn't. You don't have to be the person that gets ahead. You just have to be the person that's helping the other two players get rid of the bigger threat.
Yeah.
So if you are the unassuming threat, and you're saying, "Hey guys, I'm gonna cast my commander that helps you by drawing a card."
And maybe they hurt themselves with like what's that ancient tomb that does 2 damage to get 2 colorless mana. Maybe they're hurting themselves, and they're why are you hitting yourself? And someone can draw a card because you're greedy.
No,
Are you gonna want to hit the player who plays a Brina on turn 3, or are you gonna want to hit the player who played a Soul Radiance into an Arcane Signet into a Mana Dork on turn 1?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but the person that has the Brianna has a way of manipulating the board to where they'll never be touched, and no one's going to touch them until the person wins. They're winning the game.
That's your thought process and your play styles, not necessarily everybody. As a guy who plays red predominantly with another color for fun, I want the extra card.
He's not worried about the life gain.
I'm not worried about the life gain guys or taxing guy if he's giving me more resources. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden they'll just win out of the like. I'm not saying right
That's
away.
That's just how you go. You automatically jump to that extreme.
Hold on.
Let's hear Chris's reason.
Hold on. You don't kill them right away, but you don't leave them for last. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Because you get to a position if you're going to give me cards. Hopefully I'm drawing the things that I need to win the game. Yeah. Because by giving me the ability to get further into my deck, you're kind of hurting yourself also, even though you might be taking advantage of the table by having them attack somebody else.
Yeah. You killed the asshole playing Simic. And then go after this person.
For sure. I agree with that.
So I like this card because it's perfectly political and you can punish people for drawing the card while also dealing with the person that's the biggest threat.
All right.
I like it. I don't like giving my opponents the draw, though. I probably wouldn't play it.
Smothering
even though
Tide
I do
says
like
otherwise, though, Rob.
Yeah, you're right. With my Anointed Procession. You just kill them when you've done nothing to you all game, right, Cheese? That's a callback.
Yeah, true. All right, sorry.
We're all about callbacks.
All right. Next card.
Next card.
This is in a different commander deck because nothing of that Brianna deck has been spoiled.
Willow Dusk Essence Seer. 1 black-green legendary creature, Dryad Druid. It's a 3/3, and it has pay 1, tap. Choose another target creature. Put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gained this turn, or the amount of life you lost this turn, whichever is greater. Activate only as a sorcery.
Thank you for the
KK
follow.
Ryder, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow.
By the way, KK Ryder comes from the Normcore community. Thank you for being
hell yeah. Thank you for being here, KK Ryder. You're awesome.
Sorry you're going through your slump. Whatever way we can help to support you, man, we're more than happy to do so.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Let us know. We'll do our best to do what we can, man. And we're just talking about some magic. So if you're into magic, you come to the right place.
Hell yeah. All right.
Too.
I like the art on this card. I think this art is fucking amazing. As for the card, I'll never play it.
I would never play this card.
Yeah.
It's that sorcery speed. The abilities at sorcery speed. Maybe. I don't think I would. I honestly don't think. I definitely wouldn't play it as a commander. I don't think. If I have that ability.
In the 99. You want a white bleed, or you want a white black green commander for this one because white gains life so much better than green could.
Yep. I mean, you could probably pay some life to do some things, and then put those 1/1 counters on something, and that's beneficial. But I don't think it's worth it to get this card out. Wait for your turn specifically to put those counters on something. I don't like it. It's a cool card. It's a cool art.
I'm sorry, I didn't read the second part of that. It's life lost or gained. So that is a different story. It's a lot easier to lose life in black than any other color.
I kind of blacked out halfway through reading this card, so there's that.
Again, if it wasn't sorcery speed only, I think it'd be good. It's
Yeah.
since
They
it's
did that for
sorcery speed.
balancing reasons, though.
I guess, but also it kind of kills the card for me. I have to wait
I'm
a whole
not
turn to
playing it.
activate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not playing. I have to wait a whole turn to activate it. Plus, I got to pay 1. Not a big deal, but I got to pay to do it. With commander tax and all that other bullshit, I'm putting too much resources into this, and
Millegio,
it's conditional.
It's easy to break this color. It's easy to do this even if it's at the commander, because you have stuff like Gear Sage, which adds green mana equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it, and then you have stuff like Umbral Mantle and Sword of the Paruns, which lets you pay 3 to untap equipped creature. So you could just go infinite with that.
Yeah,
cool.
It's super easy to bust it even in the colors that it's on right now.
Ooh.
So
I mean, Illusionist
that's not an issue.
Bracers could help this out.
Oh yeah.
But
Like, you could put those +1/+1 counters on a creature that, like, let's say there's a creature out there that's like, you lose life equal to the amount of +1/+1 counters on it, or, stuff like that.
hell, this isn't even a good Dryad or Druid commander. They're just much
It's
better.
Yeah, agreed,
But
Melagio.
there are
Not a
ways to
commander.
break it. There
Yeah.
are ways to break it. You can. It's just extremely niche.
Yeah, it's a Buffy boy. I just feel like it's too slow. And you're right. If there's ways to exploit it, that's cool and all. I probably would never do it.
The
One,
setup,
because I don't
the
know
setup
how,
just takes
and
forever.
it's too much work.
If it ain't white, he
But it
doesn't
is
know
a
how to
cool-looking
exploit
card.
it.
Yeah, that's true. If it's not white or black, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
All right.
Next card.
So we don't have the list for this one. Those are the two that we don't have it for.
All right. This one we
Okay.
do, and the next one.
It's Samuel
Zafai?
L. Jackson.
Oh my
Samuel
god, is that
motherfucking
Mr. Glass?
Jackson.
It is.
That's
Mr.
Actually,
Mr.
Glass
fucking
from,
Glass.
from Unbreakable. So Zafai Thunder Conductor, 2 blue, red, legendary creature, human shaman. It's a 1/4. It has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. If that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. If that spell mana value is 10 or greater, Zafai Thunder Collector deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. That's
when do
so
you
good.
when do you get
This
Thunder
is a
Collector?
Day zero. This is a day 0 errata. By the
Yeah.
way, thanks, Wizards.
They
Thanks.
messed up. They didn't proofread it.
His name in the file was Thunder Collector, and whenever
Thunder
they went to
Conductor.
printing, yes, Thunder Collector. His name in the file was Thunder Collector. They kept the text in the text box, and they changed it in the name whenever they went to move the file, and so it went to the
that's
printing
fine.
press with that same mistake. However, it's important to know that the reason why they switched over to the new term mana value instead of converted mana cost is that because of the previous ruling that they did a couple of years ago, where if you cast an X spell, while that X spell is on the stack, however much you put into the X is the converted mana costs in addition to its other costs. So if you have Hydroid Crisis and you pay 6, it becomes a 6 CMC spell while it's on the stack. So that's mana value. So now if you have an X spell that costs 7 plus 2 blue and a red, that's a 10 mana value spell. That's whenever Thunder Collector here does damage. So just to let everybody know, that's the
So
new
if it
terminology.
if it has like blue red X, it still only counts as 2 because you didn't put the mana into it yet to increase the mana value.
Correct. So if while
Okay.
it's in any other zone except for on the stack, X spells in specific, X spells maintain that mana value of whatever is not X.
Yeah.
So X is
gotcha.
0 outside of the stack.
This is gross. I see Chris abusing the shit out of this somehow,
What?
some way.
You see cheesy.
What?
You
Yeah.
see cheesy using the shit out of this?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Well, I'm
I'm
sure that
offended.
you will. I'm sure you will, but I also
am
see cheese.
offended.
I will just everybody just assume that Joe will abuse the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty
I just see Chris taking advantage of this for some
What I
reason.
like
I don't know
about
why.
this, what I love about this is the very last line, the very last.
He's
part of the
appalled.
last
Listen
line.
to him.
Yeah.
No.
You ain't Paul.
I'm flabbergasted over here.
So the last line though, it's at an opponent chosen at random.
Yeah, roll that
this
die.
Is like no glove love right here. This is just completely random,
Yep.
without prejudice, and I love it.
I like
because
it.
You
Yeah.
can get away with that shit. Like somebody goes, I don't know, man. Do we let this live? This is like it might not hit you. Oh, okay. You know what? You're right. It might not hit me.
And then it does, and,
And
you're
then it
fucked. But
Oh, it wasn't
It's-
my
it's fun.
fault.
It adds a lot of chaos to the game, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I love those cards. Like chosen at random is my favorite part of the sentence because
Oh, yeah.
opponents look at it and they go, "I could hit the guy that it needs to hit though, so I'll take those chances."
So this whole Zapphi's card text is totally dependent on you casting an instant or sorcery spell.
Yes.
Yes.
The entire text is Magecraft. There's no other ability associated to it.
Correct.
That's kind of cool. And he only costs 4. That's
Yeah.
not bad. This is a really solid commander, I feel like.
And yeah, I think Magecraft
I
is
pre-ordered
actually
this one.
really good. Honestly, I want to get this one too.
This was the Thunder Conductor was my stripper nickname whenever I was
Oh
younger,
my
and
God.
I had an ass. So
Oh my god. I
Oh.
believe it.
All right, moving
that's a
on.
callback to Clapping Cheeks, by the way.
Clapping cheeks, my god.
All right, moving on. Oh man.
This
Hey,
spell
Yeah,
that-
Bellagio
And
said
also-
he would play this all day.
You can scry for 0 because you're basically just casting a spell. It's better than 5. Just gonna
No,
say
you can
that.
scry for 1. I'm just
I know.
like you get the scry no matter what, no matter how much the cost of the spell.
You don't
is,
have to
get
pay.
the scry.
If you
Yeah.
cast a free spell, you get to
Yeah.
you get to
Still
scry
get
for
the
0.
scry.
But those lands are terrible. Then you see what I'm saying?
Oh my god. All right, reinterpret is
All right,
2
that was
blue
a
red
deep.
instant. Here we go. Counter target spell. You may
Yes.
cast a spell with an equal or less mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Ooh, so good.
Fucking
So
gross.
good.
Yes.
So good.
We
Somebody
did it,
wants to
boys.
cast that, somebody wants to cast that Animus Awakening where X equals 9 and it's a 10 mana value spell, and you're
Hold
like,
on.
I just so happen to have this this extra turn spell that I need to cast right now.
I happen to have
Question.
Fire Emancipation in my hand.
Oh,
There you go.
gross. Question. If you counter a spell with this and you have Thunder Conductor, you get 1 trigger for reinterpret. And then you get to play a spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Do you get a second trigger?
No, you're not casting
No,
it.
Okay.
you do. You
You
do.
do?
You're casting a copy of it.
Oh, that's
You may
right.
cast
casting
a
it.
spell. Okay.
No, you're casting it. You're casting the spell from your hand. So its mana value, as long as it's not an X spell, because X is always going to equal 0 whenever it's being
Okay.
cast without paying its mana cost, by the way, or if it's being copied. So just so you know, you're still winning on this because like if you have it in Zaphi, you reinterpret, you cast another spell that's like draw 3 cards and it's a 6 mana, it's a 6 mana value.
Jesus.
This is a
spell,
2 for
then
1.
You get a 4/4 and you get to scry 1 off of that 6. Now, if you have something like Time Stretch, which is a 10 mana spell,
Oh my god.
then you get to deal 10 damage to somebody at random. You get to target player takes 2 extra turns, and you get to counter their spell that they were gonna go crazy with.
Actually, this is a 5 for 1. Actually, because you're countering it. You're getting rid of their card. So that's 1 for 1 right there. Then you get to scry 1 with the Magecraft. That's 2 for 1. Then you get to cast something else from your hand without paying its mana value. 3 for 1. And you get to scry also, and depending on the value of it, you can put a thing on the battlefield for it. So that's a 5 for 1 for just countering a spell.
So when in a situation where Cheesy goes and he casts his new Lamog for 12 or 11 mana, however much he costs, you're like, cool commander, bro, I'm just gonna pay 4 and I'm gonna cast my extra turn spell. Thanks.
Gross. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I can see why it's in this commander deck. This is the one I pre-ordered Prismari and Quandrix, I believe.
Yeah.
And I need to go back. I'm probably just gonna end up pre-ordering all of them, dude.
I'm
honestly.
pre-ordering all of them.
I gotta go back and do it.
I gotta go back.
I
gotta
love
go
the
back,
lore
Marty.
hold. The lore hold stuff is good. I'm assuming the Witherbloom stuff's probably gonna be good. I could probably pick up Silver Quill and Winterbloom
Well, wait, there's more.
Silver
Go ahead and
Quill
go to the
Witherbloom
next one,
from,
Cheesy. There's more.
from the
There's
store.
more.
Oh my
Alright.
god, tell me more.
Here we go.
Tell me.
Go ahead and read that.
All right. Elementalist palette. Elementalist palette is a 3 colorless artifact. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, put 2 charge counters on Elementalist's palette. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Gross. Tap to add colorless for each charge counter on Elementalist palette. Spend this mana only on costs that contain X. Wow.
Yep. At worst, it's a 3 cost mana rock, which in Commander is good. And at best, you're casting big shit for Thunder Collector to just collect thunder.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
And
in that it's in that
here-
deck too.
Here's the other thing.
Oh my
It doesn't say remove those counters.
It doesn't. You can You can do so like your thing that you want to do with adding counters. Doubling season. Proliferate. Doubling season. Hello?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is just good.
In the Ikoria commander decks, there was the one Hydra where you created, if you cast an X spell, you created an XX Hydra, where X was, where the power and toughness was equal to the X and the mana cost. This Elementalist palette right here
goes right in there.
Right there.
Yep.
Money.
Wow.
It makes that deck
That's gross.
Bread and butter. Bread and butter, boys. Bread and butter.
All right.
Jeez, I really feel like these commander sets are pretty fucking strong, dude.
Use my strong hand. All right.
Yeah.
Next one. Is it wrong that I'm getting more amped the further we get into these?
You put all these cards in the thing. I don't understand why you're getting excited now.
Well, because I wasn't excited for them before. It was just a job. Now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh.
Okay, Osgir the Reconstructor. 2 red white legendary creature, giant artificer. So Mike's ears are going to start ringing here in a second. It's a 4/4. It has vigilance, and you can pay 1 to sacrifice an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Oh my god.
X tap, exile an artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exile card.
Oh my god.
Activate only as a sorcery.
Oh
last couple of commander decks have been amazing in your opinion. Yeah, they've been really good, dude.
Yeah.
I want to give Mike a couple of minutes. Like we'll stay on this card because I want to give Mike a couple of minutes to chat what he thinks, because this is a Mike card right
Hold on. When we saw artifacts in this commander deck, we were like, oh, that's Mike's commander
Mike's
that he's playing.
Yeah.
So the only bad part about this is that you can't do it with you can't do it with Blightsteel Colossus, because when Blightsteel Colossus goes into the graveyard, he shuffles into the deck. And you can only activate this ability as a sorcery, so you can't react with the trigger in the stack. You can't do that.
What's that worm? What's that
Coil
worm
Engine?
card?
Is a Worm
Yeah,
Coil Engine
Worm Coil
that
Engine.
Mike loves to do.
Yeah. This is an amazing card.
Yeah.
I think this is really strong. I'm gonna have, like I said, I gotta go get the Lorehold Commander pre-order. And call it a day. I could do a lot with red and white with artifacts. Fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait to see that shit. This is a great commander. There's not really anything bad you can say about it, really.
So his tap ability is so awesome because he has vigilance, so you can attack and tap with him on the same fucking turn.
Ugh, and he's a 4/4. That's a pretty solid creature for 4/4.
Yep.
For 4 mana.
For 4 mana.
I wish it. The only down. This is dumb. The only downside is I wish it was like instant speed instead of sorcerer.
Because then you get those Blightsteel Colossus tokens.
Yeah,
is there
for
any
blockers.
way that you can turn it into instant speed, or is it just locked?
You can. So what you can do is you can counter the triggered ability of the Blightsteel Colossus to where he stays in the graveyard.
Okay.
So when it would be put into the graveyard, it goes in the trigger goes in the stack. You counter that ability. Again, I don't know of any red or white spells that counter that ability, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but is there anything that can turn a triggered ability into instant or cast at any time?
No, not with.
Damn.
No, it says activate only as a sorcery. That's it. You can only activate.
Illusionist Bracers, though. Am I right?
Yep.
I'm right.
Yep.
Yeah.
When in doubt,
This is
add
just
Illusionist
ugly.
Bracers.
I mean, you
Solid
can turn
card.
so Dreamstone Hedron, just for example, Dreamstone Hedron costs 6 and it adds 3. You can tap it to add 3 colorless, or you can pay 3 colors, tap it, and sacrifice it to draw 3 cards. You do that you exile that, and you make 2 Dreamstone Hedron copies, and you've got 6 mana to just go ham with. And
With
you
Anointed
later on-
Procession, then you have 4.
Oh, and then you have 12 mana.
Jesus, your answer to everything is Anointed Procession.
I
Hey,
love
if it's
Anointed
if it's in
Procession,
the right
dude.
colors, right? Parallel
Hey.
Lives and Anointed Procession, if it's in the right colors.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm for
Let me
it.
see.
All right, what else? What else you got for us?
All right, let's go.
What else is on?
Oh, he's
Change the channel. Sorry, I have to wait for the stream and catch up to see the cards.
we
so.
got it. We're good. Oh yes.
Ooh, Audacious Reshapers. 2 red, creature, human artificer, 3/3. Tap it, sacrifice an artifact. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Audacious Reshapers deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. That's gross, but I love it.
Gross.
You guys
Gross.
You guys want to know how to break this card?
Oh my god! Please
It's pretty
tell us.
convoluted, but it's stupid good. You have only one artifact in your deck. You put that artifact on the bottom of your library. Oh no. You have one artifact in your deck. You put that artifact on the bottom of your library through various means. Then you have Pariah attached to a stuffy doll and or the 3-cost goblin that's indestructible. Whenever he's dealt damage, deal it to a target player.
Yeah.
Okay. You activate her to sacrifice an artifact token that you get from another non-artifact card, like let's say any of the red ones that create a token that are artificers. You sacrifice that artifact, you reveal all the cards in your deck, and then it deals damage to you, but then you have your stuffy doll or your goblin enchanted with Pariah, which says whenever you would take damage, deal it to that enchanted creature instead. Boom.
Okay, hear me out.
That sounds gross. That sounds convoluted and nuts, but I like to see it happen.
Sounds like 30-minute turns is what it sounds like.
No, because you just do the thing. You do the thing. That's it. You set it up and you do the thing.
Is it like that Hermit Druid, Joe?
Like, cool,
that
here's the deck. Boom. Okay, cool. Here's the damage. Boom. That player's dead.
Mike said only one artifact. Hard pass.
I know it doesn't work for you, Mike, but it's breakable.
He did a winky face.
Break this.
He's going to use it.
Hey, Rob, remember when Joe played that Druid card against us, and he's like, "All right, boys, watch this," and he like milled his top of his library to get a basic land card, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have a basic land. I lose."
No. It was I didn't have a way to get my win con out of the graveyard.
But you had milled everything, and it was like, all right, well, so Rob is a one-on-one game.
Yeah. So this isn't bad. I mean, with white, this is a red-white deck, so you have life gain, so you don't really have to worry about losing too much life.
You can negate the damage they deal to you too.
Yep.
You can prevent all damage dealt to you.
Yep.
There's also lithoform engines. What's the other one that I like that
Strionic
you can
Resonator?
whenever you that and the one that it's in standard right now where you every time you play a colorless creature or a colorless card, you gain life, and all your colorless creatures get +2/+2.
Monument. I can't remember what monument.
Forsaken Monument.
Monument.
You can get that out with. There's so many good things you can get out with this thing. Like, it's ridiculous how good this card is.
Yeah.
Taking the damage is a I feel like a minor thing as long as you can hit on something early. If you're playing white, you're gaining life. I don't think you have that much to worry about.
Here's another situation. All right. So you have this out. It's like turn 3 or 4. Okay. You have a treasure. You have a treasure token that you made previously.
Mm-hmm. In the previous
you tap
episode.
it to sacrifice the treasure. You sacrifice it to, or you tap it, sacrifice the treasure token. With that ability, with that triggered ability on the stack, with that activated ability on the stack, you Enlighten Tutor, put a Blightsteel Colossus on the top of your deck, reveal it, boom. You have a Blightsteel Colossus out on turn 3.
Why are you the way that you are? But I'm for it. I'm for it.
Just saying. I mean, you can do a lot with this.
Yeah.
Mike, I hope you're taking notes. I'm just playing.
In response,
you say.
In response, someone puts a Mycosynth Lattice in play, and you mill 1 card.
Gross.
They're not artifacts in the decks. Mycosynth Lattice turns them colorless. All non-permanents are basically colorless. So everything that's not in.
So it turns everything into artifacts, dude.
It turns everything on the board into artifacts. It turns everything else colorless in the decks and in hands and in graveyards.
Right. I like this card though. I think it's good. You're gonna take some damage, but I think that you're on your way to getting what you need to win the game. Except from Notepad. What?
All right. Next one.
Oh man, that's Topo Chico. What's next? It really is, and it's amazing, and I love it. Evacuation technique. 3 in a white. Technique. Oh, sorry, excavation. My bad. Technique. 3 in a white. Sorcery. Demonstrate. When you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Player may choose new targets for their copies. Destroy target non-land permanent. His controller creates 2 treasure tokens. I don't like that.
This is mutually assured destruction. Let's say an opponent has 2 permanents that nobody wants out on the board, and you go, okay, I'm going to choose opponent C to destroy opponent A's extra thing while I destroy opponent A's first thing that I wanted to get rid of. It's a win-win. Yeah, they get 4 mana out of it, but let's say they were like a 2 or 3 card combo. Now they're down 1 or 2 cards in that combo. At worst, you're getting rid of a non-land permanent and giving them 2 treasure tokens. At best, you're getting rid of a lot of things that are immediate threats to you that you can't deal with until then. Or, until it's too late.
Yeah, maybe you have something that's pointless on your own side, and you need to get some treasure tokens out there to use that previous card we looked at to look for an artifact.
Yep.
Makes sense. You need some tokens to trash. Do it.
Yeah. Treasure tokens.
Okay, I can see the benefit in it. I just don't like giving my opponents the ability to destroy my stuff.
Or, hear me out, you have Avacyn on the board. That makes Angel of Hope. That makes everything indestructible. Then you're like, cool, man, fire away. By the way, my stuff's indestructible. Just saying.
Gross. Sounds like
or
a cheese
you Boros
move.
Charm in response. They're like, all right, I'm going to target your stuff with my copy. Cool, Boros Charm in response. Thanks for giving me 2 treasure tokens for free, by the way.
All right.
So
let's excavate this card and move on to the next one.
That's it.
So by the way, just so y'all know, those are the ones that we have spoiled. We only have 3 decks spoiled right now for the Commander 2021 set. There's a technique in every single deck. So that means that they're all going to have the Demonstrate mechanic, and Demonstrate is a mechanic specific to the Commander 2021 set, where it's beneficial to both you and another opponent that you choose.
Yes. All right. So
Next card. Was that all of them?
That's all of them.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm excited. I'm disappointed that I didn't pre-order all of the Commander card sets so far.
We say this every single time.
I'm really
excited this time.
I mean, it's fun to play with new cards, but then I usually end up gravitating back to the ones that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you guys this way. I ordered the set of precons every year up until a couple of years ago, and that's the reason why I have over 10,000 cards in my collection just from getting the precons alone. Not even talking about buying boxes or packs from regular sets. So just in doing that action alone, in ordering 5 sets of Commander decks, it doesn't matter if I have
cards.
Yeah, that's 500 cards that you're getting, and those cards will increase in value. For example, Teferi's Protection is a card that everybody wanted. They didn't realize there was going to be an $85 card. I'm glad I picked up every single one of those cards, or every single one of those Commander 2017 decks, because I got Teferi's Protection, and I got other stuff to play with as well. So, and perfect example, last year's Ikoria Commanders, the set of 5, I didn't order Gavi Nest Warden, and that's my bad.
Is that the word soup one?
No, that's not the keyword soup one. That's Cathril. Okay. The Gavi is the cycling one. You cycle for free.
Oh,
she had Fierce Guardianship in her. I know what
you're talking about. Okay, I'll be on the lookout for that one because I feel like I see that all the time.
She had there's Teferi's Protection. Nice, that one actually came through. So I'm telling you, even if you want the cards in the main set more, it's still worth the time to either pre-order or get the precons retail price. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay $200 for a precon just to get one card that is maybe possibly that value.
I like the precons. It's just I wish they didn't do them the same time as a set. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. That's true. They got me real good. They put it out in income tax season on purpose.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do. But yeah, I hate it because I like to get everything. That's just the way that I am, and Magic is so damn expensive.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I didn't get into it to begin with. And
now that
I should have stayed that way. Yeah, now that I'm in, I can't get out. So.
Well, I'm happy to have you here because it's another person that I can actually play Commander with.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, I'm happy playing the game, but it's just expensive.
These are just a fraction, a very small percentage of the total number of cards in this set. We didn't even go over the Mystical Archives, which had alternate arts for very popular spells that aren't standard legal, but they're still Commander playable.
I can't wait.
Most of them are historic legal, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they come in the collector's boosters, and there's a chance you can get them in the set boosters, but you can't get them in the regular boosters. That's Mystical Archives. Then on top of that, there's spells like learn spells that have you exile or get lessons from exile or from outside of the game. There's a ton of other spells that we didn't even go over that are just good spells overall. Like I said, the colorless, the dual modal face colorless
I heard
spells
that, Mike.
have a benefit. So yeah, there's so much more to this set that we haven't even touched yet. And
Joe,
and
the
there's-
Mystical Archive is in all the things. You get 3
In all
in a collector's booster.
you get 3 in a collector's booster. What about regular boosters? Not even
One.
set boosters, just regular
One
boosters.
one in each.
You get 1 in each.
Yeah, there's a thing from Wizards of the Coast saying that.
Is that like buy a box promo or?
No.
No, it's
Okay.
one per pack, I guess.
Let me send it
Um,
to you real quick. I didn't
Okay.
think they would do that. I'll put
I
it in
didn't think they
casual.
would do that either. That changes.
I think
changes
it's
a
just
lot.
gonna. I think some of them are just gonna be harder to get. Honestly, they're gonna be chase cards. So, yeah, I hope I get one of the ones that I actually want.
Draft booster, set booster, and at least 3 in each collector boost. So it's easy. It's better to get collector's boosters. Which
Yeah.
the MSRP right now for a collector's booster is 200.
2.6. No.
Most places that's MSRP. Most places
Oh.
are charging 215. You can get them
No.
at a discount from your LGS.
Nope.
No.
I'm going average pricing.
I hope you. I don't know where you're looking at, but I paid
213 is what
269 for
Amazon.
mine.
213 is what Amazon was offering them.
When?
Right now, I can pull up the thing and show you.
Pull it up because I pre-ordered mine at 269 for a collector's box, and I just did that on Monday.
Right there.
Because if I got ripped off,
Right there.
oof, I got ripped off. I'm gonna go cancel my shit right now.
And then this is how much the set. Oh, let me go back to where I was at. This is how much the set of them costs. Which 2 days ago,
Yeah, that's about it.
2 days ago, that was actually 157. That was 157 2 days ago. Then people started seeing the spells, and then
Yeah.
Amazon jacked their prices up.
Can you stop sharing, please?
Oh, yeah.
All right, there.
Cool, man. All right, well, maybe I paid less than that, and I'm just being crazy.
I think you
But-
paid less than that, dude.
Yeah, I think I did, but
I think it was
still,
220. 220.
There,
is what
there
you
are
paid.
options out there. Getting a collector's booster gives you a better chance if you're that kind of person, right? Collector's boosters aren't for everybody. I would still recommend getting as much of or all of the precons if you're if you're a commander player, especially,
Yeah.
even to the point of getting it over the set boosters, or over the draft boosters and boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah. Interest. Let's. All right. So that's. Do you guys got anything else? We're at like quite a bit over now.
Oh no, I got. Oh, that's a Japanese box. What the hell? Where is it? Booster. Well, they don't even have the collector's thing on here no more. Yeah, they have the commander decks at 199 on.
Yeah, so
on
I
this.
need to.
Oh, here it goes.
I need
Yeah,
to pre-order.
269 for a collector's booster box.
Jeez, did you get ripped?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what they have here as their price.
All right. What's going on tomorrow, Rob?
We are gonna
Rob
make
bitching that he
s'mores
got
using
screwed
white
over.
chocolate. Yeah, I will cancel my pre-order and just order it from Amazon. I don't even care. I'll
So
support
what's
my
going on?
LGS until they charge me $50 extra for a collector's box.
What's going
$50
on?
is a lot. I'm gonna draw the stuff. I don't know. I'm probably gonna draw Twerking Kermit for the 1,000 bit emote, and
Okay.
whatever else anybody suggests. I don't remember having anything
Yeah.
lined up, but yeah, we'll do that. Going on at 8:30 tomorrow night, guys. So be there or be square, because you won't be around.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
Got
So-
him.
All right. So we have a few people that we can raid. We got Normcore, Urkelon, Retro Johnny, and I think that's it right now.
Retro Johnny just started not too long ago. I mean, I'm always down for supporting Normcore, but it's whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever rated Normcore, have we?
I rated him last night.
Oh, okay. Well, if you rated him last
No,
night,
actually, I
let's rate
rated Pockets. No, I rated Pockets, and then he
All right,
rated
so
them,
let's raid Normcore then.
Let's raid Normcore.
You know what to do, everybody in the chat. If you're still with us, you spam those Daddy Smurf emotes. As soon as you get them, or as soon as you get there, let them know where you came from.
And thank you for everyone for hanging out. Be safe. See you tomorrow.
Bye, y'all. That's such a weak raid.